Nerdrotic.com.
Finish your thought, Disparu.
What? 13,000 Kelvins and there's like tea Earl Grey hots. The entire Enterprise explodes.
Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Tights. And we have a wonderful show today. We're going to talk about Starfleet Academy, the Burbs, AI, Shad. He's going to get some wood. He's going to get some Shad wood there. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which I think most of the people here have watched and liked. And there's lots and lots of spoilers. Well, a couple. But it's getting funny and some other stuff. Welcome to the show, everyone. Let's get to business right away. Let's take care of this. We got a lot to talk about. And hey, I use these. Now, I haven't used these yet. These are going to be cool, but it's these are Raycon. What is it called? Raycon
Bone conduction
headphones.
Yeah. Just in time for Valentine's Day.
Just in time for Valentine's Day. This message is sponsored by Raycon. With the Super Bowl and the Winter Olympics this month, there's no better time to get inspired, push harder, and upgrade your workout routine. When you're training consistently, the right gear makes all the difference. I've been using Raycon Bone Conductor headphones. I'm going to start using them. And they've been completely changed how I work out. And right now, this is perfect time to grab them because they're 15% off. Raycon's Bone Conduction headphones. Bone. Where did Az go? Use of...
I went to book my fucking seats for the Super Bowl, Gary.
Use of your... Hey, you might get them cheap. Use of ear audio by sitting outside your ears, sending sound through vibrations in your bones. So you can listen to music or podcasts while staying aware of what's going on around you, whether you're running, lifting, or powering through a workout without sacrificing clear, motivating sound. You stay focused and safe. They're built for all-day use. 13 hours of battery supply, IP68 waterproof and dustproof, perfect for sweat while working out. Rain, even sandy beach runs, plus no bud fit that doesn't slip. Wow. Ensuring maximum comfort while you move. Yeah, ladies. Here's the kicker. Raycon delivers the same premium audio quality as the big brands and at half the price. Add in over 3 million happy customers and a 30-day happiness guarantee. There's zero reason to overpay. The bone conducting headphones are here to help you go for the gold. Go to buyraycon.com/nerdrotic.
BC.
Mm-hmm. Why?
For bone conduction.
Oh, for bone conduction. Okay. Go to buyraycon.com/Nerdrotic.
Before Christ, Gary. Before Christ.
British Columbia.
Yeah, that's it. Or you can click the link in the description box. This is buyraycon.com/NerdroticBC to get 50% off. Thanks, Raycon, for sponsoring. Cheers. here they are. Can't wait. To use them.
I do know a lot of people that do like the bone conduction headphones, especially
They're
people
great.
that's like, I don't like earbuds. This doesn't fit in my ear. You know, the people that bitch about that shit, as if I don't bitch about anything in my fucking life. But the bone conduction ones are pretty cool.
Yeah,
And you can swim with them on.
yeah, that's cool.
Sorry, Mike.
Some
Yeah.
of you can.
Mike, you gonna swim with them on?
Some people can.
Drown with them on, you sure? Yeah. Listen to my favorite tunes. Well,
While you die, I mean,
Yeah.
what's better than that?
yeah. I'm glad it's colder in February.
Well, where you are, it's cold most of the time. Just half
That's
a year.
true.
Half a year.
Yeah, that's
on the
very true.
streets.
He actually has seasons there. Yeah.
Detroit, yeah.
He does actually have seasons. What do you want to start with? I don't want to start with Starfleet Academy because that's going to take a minute. Let's start with I destroyed.
Why
the
is it every time you do
I just
a bi-raycon, I guarantee one day you're going to say biracial.
What?
whatever is in your head as is what you're going to hear, buddy.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. That's
Speaking of the verbs,
speaking of the Burbs. No, we're going to wait for that one. Pull up the tweet where apparently I have destroyed the gaming industry along with my fellow gamers, Asmongold, Critical Drinker. I don't even know what this was about, guys. I don't know what started the tweet. I don't know what.
Let's start with it. Yeah.
Some
Game.
fucking 20-year-old with pronouns in his bio, so a complete and utter baguette.
So Sammy, whoever, Critical Drinker. Huh?
Sammy, look, gay.
Okay.
Wow.
Critical
That's
Drinker.
actually the commentary they're complaining about, by the way.
Male, 21, he, him pronouns, name Sammy. Okay, right, you're gay. We get it, okay? Yeah. Fine.
Yeah, Critical Drinker, Asmongold, Nerdrotic, Grums, and these anti-woke YouTube grifters has done irreparable damage to gaming discussion. Just read it how it is. It's not a super chat. We could be talking about level design, environment, game mechanics, and stuff that actually that's actually about, games but no.
We do. We do all the time.
It's shit like this.
We do. It's just another stupid fucking retarded straw man fucking wanker tosser that got his post botted by a bunch of fucking wanker tossers. That's it at the end. Full stop.
Well, it's also so in reference, they're talking about GTA 6. They're talking about the character design for Lucia and GTA 6.
Because I had no idea what game they were talking about.
Exactly. And so someone's talking about, I don't find her attractive, whatever. The thing is, before games come out, we don't have level design, environment, game mechanics, stuff like that necessarily to talk about, depending on how much we've seen. So just like a movie, before it comes out, all you have to talk about are going to be the trailers, the promotional material, the things that they're showing you. And that's the things that we judge. And that's what we're supposed to judge on. The purpose of a trailer is to get you to play the game or watch the movie when it comes out. So you are supposed to judge it. That's the fucking point of a trailer. And so when that's all you have necessarily to talk about. Now, when these games inevitably do come out, when Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet with this bald androgynous bitch from Neil Cuckman from Naughty Dog, when that comes out, people will be able to judge it based on more than just this awful trailer that turned so many people off that got ratioed to hell. But for now, this is all we have, and that's what we're going to talk about. And yes, Gary is going to destroy the gaming industry. He's always been very upfront about that.
One door at a time.
But it's also that if you have an ugly character in a game, that is a choice. You could have the most attractive 10s of all time in every single game for the rest of the time, and you're never going to run out. And over time in different games, we've noticed patterns. If you have ugly characters in your game, it's a bad game. It's made by bad game developers who don't care what the audience wants. They want to put their stuff in, and they don't generally have much talent. That's why they believe the stuff they believe in the first place. And so, yes, if you've noticed the last 10 games with ugly characters and they're all trash, it's not unreasonable to expect the 11th one will be as well when it's following all the same signs.
this also comes down to relevancy, right? Okay, so let's assume we can talk about gameplay, all of that, level design, obviously, when the game comes out and we have the information. But there's also, what is the most likely? That this game, featuring a bald androgynous main character, will have mind-blowing level design that we've never seen before, revolutionary nonsense? Or can we draw conclusions from the fact that they chose to make an actively, studiously ugly female character, and the fact that every time that has been done previously, it has been produced by people who don't give a shit and can't produce anything innovative? Like, frankly, this is more relevant than any of the other discussions because, one, we don't have the information, and two, as mentioned, we know the pattern at this point. This isn't our first ball game. We've been doing this for 10 years. It's
pattern recognition. We will not apologize for recognizing the pattern. And yes, myself and my fellow gamers, Asmon Gold and Critical Drinker, hey, keep going, guys. You know, it's lonely at the top, but it's okay to be second place. It's totally cool. You can walk around with your head held high. But the bottom line is, who made an issue of identity in the first place? Was it the fans or was it the companies constantly pushing it? Constantly pushing the same 5 ingredients every fucking time. And when the fans just started pointing it out and going, you know, I used to play games and have a lot of fun, and now I'm not because they suck, because they focus on identity over things like mechanics, then who's at fault here? It's the companies. Of course, they always want to blame the fans for that, though. That's
it's not the fans. Like,
no.
I was talking about this on this previous stream a second ago, because I was like, thinking back, but I remembered an interview I watched with Donkey Kong Country 3's release, and everyone was so incredibly excited. The interviewer was like, "Oh my god, this is going to be amazing!" The game's developers like, "We're really making something fantastic here," and the fans too were like, "Yes, we can't wait to look forward to this." We were all excited for games, all of us, like, and there wasn't even any doubt as to whether or not it would be a good game. We all simply knew. But today, who are here is excited for the announcement of a new game first and foremost? Who looks at a trailer and doesn't look for the signs of it being bad first and then begin analyzing what could be good?
Well, instead of bad first, I think we look for red flags. I think we're now conditioned to look for red flags in trailers, whether it be TV, video games, movies, and it's those companies that you're mentioning that are making us do this because they're forcing all of this crap in. And you'll sort of see something about a game first, and it'll show you some environment. You'll be like, oh, and then the red flag just gets thrown right in there. You're like, oh.
Yeah, and it overpowers the good, because then you're just like, okay, this means so many things that are connected to that red flag. It's not just an ugly bald lady. It means also that the game developers are probably political. The game's probably going to have a message.
Yes.
It's probably going to be developed by people who don't give a shit, and so on and so on and so on.
And this is also coming from a studio who had a massively beloved game, and then the sequel was so bad, and the writing was so bad in the sequel, they destroyed all goodwill they had with the fans in the way that they handled it. And then went to Hollywood and said, can you make this a show? And then shit on the fans there too. Like, it's not like we don't know who this company is. This isn't some random company that said, we're making a game, give us a shot. Like, we already know what their plan is. We already know who Neil is.
With Naughty Dog, it's clear where the writing talent came from. Amy Hennig. That's where the writing talent came from. When Amy Hennig was
women in gaming. If they're actually good, they should be there. Yes.
Exactly. It's called merit. Amy's clearly a very good games writer, and her Star Wars game was looking fucking amazing, and I'm mortified that we didn't get that. But as soon as she was forced out of Naughty Dog and Cuckman took over or certainly was pushed more to the forefront of the writing duties, we saw exactly what he was. Then we saw him go in front of a panel and talk about women in gaming. And how characters like Lara Croft and Quiet and characters like that were awful and misogynistic and all this like shitting all over his peers, his much better peers. Meanwhile, he tanked Uncharted because we had Uncharted 4, which was the worst of the bunch, and then they brought out the 2 women game. I can't even remember the fucking name of that.
Uncharted Legacy or something like that. What was it?
Failed. Threw out a guy from the what do they call them again?
Bruce. What was his name?
No, the
co-creator of Last of Us.
No, sorry, no. I mean, when you got those rooms where you bring people in to discuss,
roundtable,
think tank type of things.
Struggle session.
No. But it's more. You'll get it. We'll kind of get it. But they threw the guy out of that because he said, "Why's Nathan Drake been thrown around by this woman?" And they just like, "Excuse me, we don't want your
Yeah.
Focus groups.
Focus group. Yeah, we don't want your sexism. So they threw the guy out whose very job it was to kind of highlight this. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you see. But so we know exactly where this guy is. He's blinkers on, and I think Heretic Prophet, whatever it's fucking called, is a perfect game for Naughty Dog. It's the most expensive thing they've ever made, and could be their biggest flop to date. So fingers crossed for Neil Cuckman and the rest. Oh, who also, by the way, managed to find himself kicked off The Last of Us The Last of Us season 3,
which is going to be its last season.
Yeah,
turns
the
out
place where he always wanted to go. That's where he wanted to be, and he lasted 2 seasons, and he got kicked off.
Yep.
What's funny in place of these red flags is that there's also big white flags, which shouldn't be the case. But if you see a video game with a conventionally attractive main lead character, it's like, oh, that probably means that this, like, look at Stellar Blade, look at Knight's Path recently. They announced this is going to be a love interest, conventionally attractive white blonde woman, and people lost their crap over it simply because it was just a normal, beautiful woman. And
we call those green flags, Shad, not white flags. We're not
white
French.
They're French. But it's because it shows a question of priorities. Like, sex sells has been true since the beginning of time. You know your target audience. You know it's men when it comes to gaming. You know that's what they want, and so you're deliberately not giving the audience what they want. In the focus group, they got rid of the audience telling them what they wanted because it was more important to them to put the message in. It was more important to represent themselves rather than the people buying them, and that will inevitably lead to a terrible product.
I think they can also engineer people not being attractive to the opposite sex, and that's the issue.
Well, I mean, it's what just Bruce said. It's deliberately going against the grain, going like, if I put a hot Asian woman in that picture instead of that bald non-binary whatever, you would have had more eyes on it. It would have made, it would have initially had more interest.
Blade.
So you're making this
Marvel
conscious...
Rivals.
Yeah.
If you watch the trailer for Marvel Rivals, it looks like a terrible game. It looks really slow, really cheap, but the attractive women in it got people to play the game. Like, actually, this is really interesting, and it took off. Now
it gets them in the. It's like a good cover. It gets you in, and then the story will keep you there. But now we're seeing, we know exactly what this story is. We are judging a book by its cover completely, and we're right often. And it's hard to not think it's a conspiracy when we see this happening with beer, with fucking cars, with video games, movies, comic books, magazines, Playboy magazine, everything. They all are, these are companies that are in competition with each other, and they're all doing the same fucking thing. Isn't that weird? Isn't that strange?
It's never to change culture through changing beauty standards, right? And the thing is, you can try to do that all you want. You can put ugly people in shit all you want. People aren't going to be attracted to them. And yes, predominantly men who play video games want to have attractive characters in the games. You know who also wants attractive characters? The women. Women don't want to play fat, frumpy, non-binary freaks, right?
Unless they voice act for them.
Attractive women in the game. They want attractive men, and they want attractive women. It goes through, I talked about this the other day. There is a thing called pretty privilege, and it goes for men and women in all aspects of life. You'll get treated differently if you're more attractive.
I'm not going to apologize for it.
It's just part of it. And some people want to remain in denial. Usually those people are ugly as fuck and can remain in denial.
Az is not here to be easy on the eyes for you, Chad.
No, I am. That's exactly what I am here to be.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
I am here to be easy on the eyes for you.
Objectify me.
I am here to be objectified. I am a piece of meat for you to
Can you bring the orange makeup back, at least?
Fucking bring out the barbecue. It's summer already.
Let's go. Let's go.
And we do know that this isn't accidental either, because they've told us. We know that all of this is a doctrine. They've literally written books on this, and this is about inverting Western society standards. Beauty standards is but one of them. And this is also why women have been less affected, because you will notice, if you look into things like women's romance stories, for example, books, they're as filthy and sultry and filled with men with washboard abs and billionaires who see the frumpiest middle-aged woman and it's just like, I love you. Meanwhile, anything with male romance, like attractive female characters, virtually non-existent. Male romance in general, shameful. It's something that we view as a derogatory and negative. And all of this is doctrinal. It's all about inverting Western society, and that's what we've noticed. And
Look at
people are
Starfleet
fighting back.
Academy.
Look at
Look at
Starfleet
Starfleet
Academy.
Academy.
Look at the men
the
and
dudes have
women.
got to be ripped beyond. They are absolutely fucking ripped, those guys.
Yep.
And the women, half of them are fucking fat lesbians, just fat blobs. They've got like two. I mean, one of them I wouldn't say is attractive. Certainly not my fucking type. But there's like two attractive women, and then the rest are all just fucking ugly, old, fat, lesbian. They just there's no fucking. It's like they woke up one day and just went, do you know what? I'm never going to try again a day in my life.
And actually incompetent too. Like the chick who swallowed her com bag in episode 1, she shows up in the last 6 episodes. She's the one who freaks out. Oh, body? I didn't join the military to see bodies.
Oh, that you got to throw that bitch out the airlock. She's gonna get somebody killed, bro. When she
I hope,
started,
so. I hope she gets herself
I
killed.
thought she just wished she'd eaten it. It was like they're all cannibals on the other ship. It's like, I wish I was over there. I'm on the
all
wrong
that
team.
meat going to waste. I
They're like,
can't
"Oh,
eat him.
we got a grief counselor ready for you. And it's like, wait, what? Like, what are you
No,
doing?
No,
at that point.
send her to the med bay. It's like if we don't get her on a med, like her hunger's gonna drive her insane.
Yeah, tranquilize that
yeah,
bitch.
she
Get her
should've
quiet. She's gonna get us in trouble.
She should have been washed out immediately at that point. She is not Starfleet material.
Well, in this show, she is. Because
What gave it away? Her swallowing a com badge that she wasn't Starfleet material.
No, her
Well,
BMI.
one of the tests.
Maybe her wearing 250 pounds had something to do with it too. Like, good luck passing any PT test or like
All the
running
above.
down a fucking hallway.
No
One of the
standards.
tests to enter Starfleet is you have to face and overcome your biggest fear. So none of these people should have like these massive, stupid fears that they've never. Oh, I've got anxiety. Well, I'm sorry, but you wouldn't have made it in already. They already made you
Her
overcome
biggest
that.
fear was not getting to a meal. They didn't test her second biggest fear.
She can
a
hear a
dead
dinner
body.
bell from 100 miles away.
Yeah, she's like, we're gonna take the sandwich away.
Out of reach in space. That was her biggest fear. That's why she lost the plot.
That's why she swallowed her com badge in the test. She didn't have anything else to eat.
They didn't give her a sandwich.
This is your fault.
I would have given this episode 10 out of 10 if she arrived on the bridge with a com badge, and then when we cut to her next, it had gone. I would have given it 10 out of fucking 10 for the lols. I really would have.
Holy shit, dude, that's pretty fucking.
Didn't even have to say anything. You just did that. You just did it as a. Oh,
and
that
then she
I would have
puked it
given
into
it
the
10.
eye of a furry, and that's how she could. So, yeah, the burn, which they haven't reset properly in this show at all. Like, if you just watch the show, you would have no idea what the burn is. But the burn killed all the men in the universe. That's what it actually did, and this is what we're left with, and that's. We have an incompetent matriarchy. The word is androcide. That is what all of these franchises have committed.
All the Andrews got killed. That's fucking rough.
Androcide,
Okay.
which is killing all the males
I mean,
of the
it's,
species.
it's a great point. All the guys that were out there exploring the world and making contact with other species probably were all in ships that blew up, and they were like, well, we got the D team at home. I guess we can get them out there on ships, you know?
No, that actually would. If Starfleet was the best of the galaxy, and then they all died at space, then you do it immediately, lower the IQ of the universe, and they keep
I guess we can call Holly Hunter up. I don't know. Like, who the fuck do we have?
I don't know. We don't even know what the fucking hell she's saying to anyone.
No, you need closed captions.
Oh, the fetus thing. Oh.
No, you need closed captions for a couple of characters. And then the
I need
ADR.
closed captions for the closed captions.
It is mixed awfully.
It is
like
mixed terribly.
I set my reviews to right channel because the voices are slightly louder on it.
They are, and they're off by like just a bit of a second. They're like the language does not match what they are reading, and a lot of that has to do with Gaydon's ADR, and then white straight male. Just in case you haven't been watching Kurtzman Trek, the white straight male is the new red shirt. So anytime you see a masculine male, he will be dead within 5 minutes.
But
they still make him
a straight white man in the whole show.
They still make him the best, most competent person who will die to save the children. It's like that. These people are so stupid that anyone who's competent and actually good immediately dies because it's the only way to keep them alive. And so over time, you lower the quality.
Before
literally, they're the ones throwing themselves on the grenade.
Above 80.
Yeah.
So
like, what if we just stand here and look scared? And he's like, or we could like, I don't know, grab one of the 5 phasers on the ground and fight back. And they're like, oh yeah, you do that and we'll run. And he's like, oh, fuck it.
By the way, we've sort of gone into Starfleet Academy. I don't know if you want to come back, but what the fuck happened to Jaden this week? Because he was still his Gary Stu when it came to all the technical stuff. But in terms
Jaden
of that,
Gary Stu?
I'm about Caleb.
Caleb.
Oh, Caleb.
All their names are gay. They're all fucking gay.
He looks like a Jaden.
Hold on, you think Caleb is a gay name?
Caleb, Jacob, fucking Sammy, Bammy, and Whammy. That's
Caleb and Jacob, historically gay fucking names. Like what?
Yes.
Like biblical fucking names.
She said he had the Caleb
Go
over
to the
there.
local gay bar right now and just go Caleb, and you'll have 6 men probably turn around and go, yep.
Sounds like
What's your name, Thomas?
that.
How gay? Get out of my face.
So
is Jaden here? Oh, you're gonna have to. Which one? This.
what was the title of this episode? I didn't even look at it. But
Gay.
Yes, that's it. Many
Different shit, same show.
I've heard people say this is the best of the worst, maybe because things happened. But it is so convoluted and so stupid. This is the dumbest episode of the season. By far.
I love the part where the Romulan stands in front of the weapon to get shot through the heart instead of using his weapon to shoot the assailant. That was my favorite.
We'll get to that.
That was a Klingon. No, sorry.
Or just knock his arm. Just knock his
not
arm.
a Vulcan.
We'll just let him shoot Caleb.
That was a Romulan pretending to be a Vulcan.
Gary, it's called Come, Let's Away.
Oh, that's right. Come, let's away.
They know they were so smart.
Oh my god.
This is one of the most frustrating ones because with the entire scheme of all 6 episodes that's out, if you had to pick one that's probably the best, it might have been this one. But unfortunately, it's the one that has, if it was done by competent people and we had a show that Starfleet Academy and this was a training exercise and bad things happened, I had to figure out how to get it. That's like the best premise for an episode that we've had yet. But unfortunately, so many things are also thrown in there. The relationship between Caleb and the mind reading bitch. Everything that Holly Hunter is ever a part of. Every one of the characters who's just retarded and cringe and annoying. I still don't understand why the hologram needs of life support thing. I don't get that.
God, I wish they'd killed her. Like, because for a moment there, I was like, okay, you had an episode building her up, establishing her, humanizing her, hammering home the struggles, etc. If they had killed her then, I would have actually remembered her more as a good character than just that annoying fat chick who shouldn't exist.
Well, they had the perfect time. She can turn herself into soft light at will. She could have been phasing through the whole, fighting the captors, doing anything, and just turned into essentially an actual Starfleet officer. But no, I'm just going to be like, I'm captured with the rest of you, even though you can't do anything to me.
She could have phased out and basically ran through the ship and done whatever the hell she wants.
She could have got to engineering easily.
Yeah.
I'm confused by her. Does she have a mobile emitter or is she just pure energy?
She's pure energy.
She's pure.
And for some
They
reason,
can be
getting
held
shot
by
with
basic
her.
restraints.
We know that because they said that the holographic emitters in episode 1 were down, and she could still appear and walk around everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, they're like, how do you do that? Like, it just works.
She's just a being of literal living light.
Yeah.
Isn't she practically a god at that point?
Yes.
Pretty much.
If she weren't retarded, yes.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. They're like, well, how do we nerf her? They're like, what if we just give her brain damage?
What if
and
we
they're
make her retarded?
That's a really good idea.
How are you thick and can consume information instantaneously? I don't understand how this is even possible.
Yeah.
She has like a program routine that you can change her hair on. So it's like there's a code computer base somewhere for it. It's just what? That's a.
They're all
no
about
point
to
did
die.
it-
And she
maybe
goes,
we should-
what if I just talk to the computer. Like, that's a great idea. Like, why didn't you do that when we first got on the ship? And she was like, I don't know, I'm
well,
because you don't have the access codes, because you don't have command codes, because you're not part of command structure, so you wouldn't be able to access the computer in the first fucking place. Amen. There
wasn't enough memory on the shape. They said it split across multiple systems because there wasn't enough memory. And they said, well, what happens if you put it together?
When sentient
all the RAM had gone to fucking AI.
My favorite
the
part,
AI RAM crisis had affected Starfleet too.
My favorite part of Kurtzman Trek is when sentient beings try to apply logic to it. It's hilarious. Why didn't they do this? Why did this? Because they're dumb. Because the people making the show are really, really dumb. So it opens up with a really long sex scene that we might have gotten some side boob if the actress actually had any, but we didn't. And it goes on and on and on.
With raisins stapled on it.
Yeah, and then when you think they're done, they start again. You're like, okay, I guess we're still going.
Well, okay, so I'll give them some credit here. So for the younger guys out there, she's got basically an implant here that kind of keeps her power. It represses her powers. It dampens her powers.
She's got a gleaming clitoris
yeah.
on her neck.
So when she's aroused, it turns red. So I think that would be helpful for a lot of younger guys out there. But the problem is it turns blue when she's not, and that could be distracting.
Hold on. I don't think it's when she's aroused. I think it's when she's like very emotionally connected to something.
I choose to think it's aroused.
Yeah. It's an external clit.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Ripped out at the end.
Aren't they all external?
Well, the way that you
good point.
As would it know?
What?
Well,
it's a mystery, X-ray girl.
We're thinking the G spot. I see.
Depends what kind of woman we're dealing with.
So yeah, there's a big long sex scene, and she gets into his head and calls it a safe space, and he and she finds his teddy bear and finds out his past drama through his teddy bear. And no, that's exactly how it happens. I'm not making this shit up. And he clutches his pearls and gets upset, and they have a forced argument, and then they're forced into this mission that they're going on. And this is where it gets really dumb, guys. So they are on a training mission. They go to a ship graveyard to where a ship was destroyed, but it's magically intact. And
those people didn't have much confidence in their...
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I have to lay this out, Disbrew, because most people didn't watch this. So they're in a ship graveyard with a Federation ship that has been floating in space for 100 years with an experimental, super secret, dangerous singularity warp alternative drive, which means that during the burn, if you couldn't use dilithium crystals, they were trying to actually use they didn't say this, the Romulan technology of the singularity drive. And now I know normal people would think, wouldn't the Federation during that, years of the burn have, I don't know, engineers and scientists try to get that singularity drive working? Maybe use it at
the Romulans.
back engineer it, or I don't know, at least take it back to Earth and not leave it in space so somebody could, I don't know, salvage it. No, they decided to have retards training on it. That's their big thing.
But that's not even the thing I was going to mention. I'm just saying, look, if I had to test an experimental drive and they said, we're going to test this new drive in a ship graveyard, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going on that ship. If you think it's going to explode, so we always have to move it to the graveyard.
Well,
I'm getting off.
There are layers of stupid in this.
There's so many.
Singularity drive is old technology at this point in Star Trek. We're talking like hundreds of years old. This should not be hard to adapt and figure out. Yet Starfleet, Star Trek are so retarded that they couldn't do that. Well, and then, sorry, go Gary.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, then, like the fact that they have to travel light years through space to this actual, genuinely dangerous situation, and shock horror, something really dangerous happens, right? When they have holodecks and they could just simulate any situation that they could ever need in perfect safety and any structure, but no, let's actually forget about reason and logic and convolute this retarded situation because the writers don't know how to justify it in any reasonable way.
Wasn't the burn 100 years ago?
Yes. So it was over.
This ship was destroyed 125 years ago.
So before,
No, it was
25
100.
years
It
before
was
the
100.
actual-
It was 100.
No, it's 100. The computer says 125 years ago.
Yeah, they say you were like you lost your crew 125 years ago.
Yeah,
That
okay.
was thrown out there. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they've been training on it for 5 years, is what they also say.
Yeah.
Which is also just stupid. It's like, wait, so they keep just breaking
the
the
wall
ship?
color.
Yeah, they're
the
just
War
like, all
College
right,
does,
good
yeah.
job getting that up and running. Now shut it down again, please.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the War College have successfully been training on it for 5 years. The minute Starfleet arrive,
Yeah.
I
everything
bet
goes to
the
shit.
writers thought this was so smart. It's like, the burn. Everyone's bringing up, singularity drive from Romulans. Well, we answered that.
No.
Everyone was retarded and couldn't work it. That's
There you go.
We couldn't figure
I
out
believe them, to be
technology
honest.
of the Romulans.
and we have Romulans in it.
Yeah,
In
like,
Yes.
Starfleet.
That's one of the reasons they're so bad. So previously you'd be like, well, they didn't watch Star Trek, they didn't know there was other warp technologies, and so you're like, well, they're just stupid. Now, no, they deliberately, intentionally broke canon and
Yes.
just completely ignored the Romulans, even though they knew it
motherfuckers
existed.
These motherfuckers didn't know betazoids were telepaths. They're like, no, they're empaths. So like they're not gonna know how a fucking ship works. Like, I don't know.
Well-
Dilithium? And you're like, yeah, that's a thing. Good job, guys. Like,
Well done. Never mind
well
that the Romulans should have taken over not just the quadrant but the galaxy. Despite being decimated, they've always had superior technology.
the Romulans would have killed everyone because that's what
Everybody.
that's
Yes.
all they've ever wanted. It was like, oh man, even when they have like a massive governmental change and there's a coup, that government goes, we should just kill everybody.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I think that's a
No,
good idea.
the actual the politics don't change. They just want to be empowered. That's all.
But
It's the same politics.
But they also said that the burn, this is what they said in the show, the burn made dilithium inert. So none of the warp engines would blow up. They would just simply
not function.
functioning.
Yeah.
They just
And
They
But
have-
then
they
we
have
can't
no
reset
clue.
the universe. So
No
it's gotta
clue what
go
to do.
boom.
Yeah. This was their excuse to wipe the slate completely clean and just cherry pick whatever they wanted out of the Kelvin timeline.
It's worse than that. It's more subversive than that. They've said that the burn was an analogy for our world, that our world is being destroyed. That's why they want to do these people as young people. Because like, well, now the new generation are living in an apocalyptic world where the entire economy's been destroyed, everything's gone to hell, and so they're making that in Star Trek.
And that's exactly why Terry Matalas trolled it in Picard season 3 when he had every person under a certain age, all the young people had a mind virus from the Borg, which is funny. Another part of the burn is it made it inert, but it didn't make like new dilithium inert. But they didn't want to use it for fear of it happening again. That's a key point.
right.
If
but
they're
trading it.
if they're worried that it's going to happen again, then why aren't they working on alternative drives like the Singularity? Like so why don't you have a bunch of scientists and engineers trying to get that drive figured out the whole time? Instead, they just let it sit there. And
They have
luckily,
warp nacelles which don't even attach to the
do.
ship.
Oh, don't
Which
get me
is
started
utterly
on that.
pointless.
Which is preposterous beyond comprehension. They have
They've made sound work in space.
Oh, that job.
They have impulse drives which somehow take you to warp. I don't know how that one fucking happened. We got some woman that goes, we need to go really slow.
Oh, yeah.
Slower than impulse.
Yeah.
Slower
Yeah.
than impulse. Impulse could go up to a quarter of a fucking light speed, you stupid bitch. So you thrusters, not impulse. When you're right next to a fucking ship, you just go bang and smash the
Well, this is the same people who like warp into San Francisco, So
long.
So
just
just
destroy the atmosphere. Everyone dies.
I obviously have not watched so much of this new Star Trek stuff. So some of this stuff, it just pops up and then I hear you guys talk about it. The dilithium, the way they talk about it, it feels like they use that as a fuel, but that's not true, right?
No,
Isn't
it
dilithium
regulates. It regulates
No.
the warp drive.
Yeah.
So but
Antimatter
that's
is
the
the
thing, right? If dilithium was rendered inert, wouldn't that cause explosions, right?
No.
In the same way that if we had if all of our nuclear reactors around the world are controlled by, say, hafnium as the thing that absorbs neutrons to prevent it from, going to fuel and
showing
things like
off
that.
your big brain now, Ryan.
But that's my thing, right? If hafnium was
Sounds like
suddenly
unobtainium.
rendered inert, then that would mean you'd have just a not a
No,
cataclysm, but you'd have it just everything
it would
explode.
just shut down your warp engines. You just wouldn't be able to warp. That is it.
so like,
You'd be on impulse power only.
Yeah,
And
dilithium
Ryan, like-
doesn't contain the antimatter. They have separate, like the antimatter is in the warp drive, and that's the big explosive thing.
So my question, because I don't know how like nuclear engines and stuff work, but if like all the water evaporated in a nuclear like plant, they could just shut it down, right?
Yeah, they shut it down. That's
well, if all the water evaporated, if all the water evaporated, you'd be fucked because that's how you remove the heat. But
but that's what I mean.
Is,
but like
the way you guys talk about it, you have this matter and antimatter reaction, and dilithium's what controls it and regulates it. If that turns off, there would be nothing to prevent the matter and antimatter from fucking exploding. That's the way it sounds to me, but I don't know the technology behind it.
It would cause the warp engine just to shut down.
Yes.
The reaction would not continue to go. It would simply just shut it all down. You'd be stuck on impulse power.
And it would sound
the
just
bigger
like
problem
that.
than this, the bigger problem than this is that Starfleet is still using dilithium for all their warp engines, even though it's inert.
But the thing is, there's canon that you can have warp without dilithium. Zephram Cochrana's ship didn't have dilithium and it reached warp 1. They can get warp to work without dilithium. That's not the issue. But the writers are retarded. They don't care about canon.
No, it's what Disper said. They just wanted this clean slate because early on in Star Trek Discovery, Kurtzman was just getting killed by destroying canon. So he's like, we'll go in the future, and then he keeps destroying canon. He doesn't understand that, like, we're going to go in the future and decimate the Romulans, the Federation, and the Klingons. It's like, wow.
One of the quotes from, I think it was in a big jumble of Kurtzman Trek IPs, but I think it was the Starfleet Academy writers that said it, was when they write a script, they will write something new in and say, and now that's canon. They really liked the ability to essentially rewrite Trek as they wanted.
Yep. And they just keep doing damage to it. And what's odd, and we've pointed it out before, with Starfleet Academy, it's getting all the attention, but Kurtzman Trek has been like this since day one. Strange New Worlds is like this. Lower Decks is like this. It's all this stuff. So I'm glad that people are finally seeing it way too late. We're going to get 2 seasons no matter what. I can't imagine why they would even think about putting out the second season, but they're gonna. And that's why I think David Ellison's a bit of a retard. You know, like the first thing I would do if I'm like trying to buy Warner Brothers and build up Paramount from the disaster that it was, the people who were in charge before, Sherry Redstone, and then before that, Les Moonves hated Star Trek and didn't give a shit what happened to it. And this is why they accrued $15 billion in debt, which admittedly is a lot less than other studios, Warner Brothers. But if they wanted to fix this, they could fix it now. They could cancel it now, and they won't. And so fine, keep putting it out. We'll keep mocking it. And even when you try to do a Star Trek concept, it falls into like abject gobbledygook at the end, where there's so many contrivances. Like Newsbrocka's plan, how did he know all those things were going to randomly happen at the end?
Well, he didn't. That was just a convoluted writing.
But somehow he did. Somehow he knew all this stuff was going to happen at the end, so he can trick Starfleet. But so basically, furries, they're called the Furies, and they are
2 secs. The first Enterprise, NX-01.
Yep.
What warp speed could it hit? Anyone?
Oh, I can't remember.
2.
Anyone?
No, 4. 4 was like, what is it?
They got it to warp 5. They could get it to go to warp 5, right? Mm-hmm. Did that have a dilithium engine? Did that require dilithium? No. Remember in Star Trek The Next Generation, where warp got capped to warp 6 because the effect that the warp engines were having in the universe, in the galaxy. Mm-hmm. So that is just simply one warp light year faster than warp 5 from when they originally came in.
So, when did they hit 9?
When they go back to
Voyager hit 10.
Yeah, Voyager hit 10.
Well, they
Next
have
generation
Enterprise hit 10,
which was never supposed to happen.
Which were different speeds.
Yeah. But they did in Next Generation have their episode where warp was going to have to be capped at warp 6 until further note. Now, they didn't pay any attention to their fucking lore after that. But the NX-01 did not have a dilithium engine.
So what did it use?
It used the warp core ship was powered by a gravimetric field displacement manifold, which was they classed as a deuteronium as fuel, something like that. My pronunciation's not phenomenal.
Okay. Why aren't they using that?
Yeah,
because the writers are retarded.
Because they don't know because
Yeah.
average fans put more work into it than they do, and they don't feel like they need to.
Yeah, the Borg use gravimetric drives.
2 minutes of looking on Google.
Yes.
Yep.
There
2 minutes.
there are plenty of other there's plenty of other technology. They just wanted to be able to wipe the slate clean and said, well, nobody's going to look that hard into it because the people that are going to be watching this aren't real fans. Yeah.
Well, exactly. Real fans aren't watching this, so we can get away with it.
Yep, that's exactly. And you'll have and that's the thing. All over social media, especially like on places like Facebook, a lot of older audiences and stuff, you will just see bots everywhere saying this doesn't break canon. This is normal. Star Trek has always been like this. You know, that whole thing where they try to say Star Trek is always woke. It's always been progressive. It's like it has not been like this. This is somebody on Reddit that went, I want to write for Star Trek, and I don't really pay attention to it. I read a Wikipedia article one time, and now I wrote a Star Trek show. Like,
well, they told you this in episode 5, where the hologram just squidges out the studio production and writes a story about me. That's what it is. That's the show telling you. This isn't a Star Trek show. It's a story about me.
Yeah, like regardless of the science and the lore and all that stuff, all of them are valid criticisms. The biggest problem is this show's fucking retarded in every single way. Every character is annoying as shit.
Oh my God.
It's brutal to watch. I want all of them to die.
Not all of them, because the scene where they've got Holly Hunter just sitting in the corner not talking really highlighted how she drags down every scene where she's the leader in it, and it immediately got worse the moment she took over the conversation.
I hate her entire character. I really sympathize with the military academy guy because he's trying to do his best. He's a disciplinarian. He's at least trying. And then this woman comes in barefooted into every meeting, shoving her feet in his face. And it's like, why don't we just chill out? What if we just do random shit? What if we don't care? And she's the same rank as this motherfucker. God damn it.
Don't you love how in this episode, they actually took a moment to like have a close-up on her feet to show you that she had shoes on? And you're just like, okay, fine, thank you.
Well, and it's once again, not having paid attention. I mean, even the basic amount of attention, like part of the reason you need military power is because when they ran into the Borg, they were like, holy shit, we are not ready for this at all. We need weaponry. We need military ships, and it got progressively worse. And so it wasn't. They try to act like it was. Well, you guys just got radicalized, and you guys were just becoming so isolationist and so. No, they were trying to protect the galaxy. They show you in First Contact how hopelessly outmatched the Federation was against a fucking one Borg ship. Like, that was it, and the only person that could deal with it was a guy who had an insider knowledge on this. So, like, the military stuff they try to pretend is bad was actually the only thing keeping the Federation alive this whole time. So, Holly Hunter's attitude about, well, I watched him take a child away and stuff like that. Lady, like, there's a lot of bad shit that happens in this galaxy. It doesn't mean the whole Federation should just start throwing flowers at each other and be friends with everybody you meet.
And that was all to shoehorn a message in. That whole taking the child away was all so they can make a little ice reference. Yeah.
Yep.
Starfleet has never been about a message about military bad. It's that if you can be diplomatic if you have the biggest stick. That's why Deep Space Nine, the moment a war came in, suddenly now we're debating, is it worth killing one person to save multiple empires? And that's what they wrestle with. But they could only go round. A lot of Picard is like, well, if you attack me, I'll just blow you up. So then they're like, okay, no, I'll be peaceful with you then.
Yeah.
So in this episode, they go on this training exercise, and the kids are down there, and they have to turn on the ship in under 60 minutes. Basically, restart the life support systems and get the computer on. They didn't say anything about restarting the singularity drive. They just wanted to get the computer back on. And nobody is in the past 5 years, nobody's been able to do this. They've only gotten to 65%. And we learn that the adventures of the Miyazaki were put into comic book form, where I guess 1,000 years poorly drawn American comic books are still going to survive. Somehow.
Be grateful you got them.
Nothing will kill the comic book industry. That's the foretelling of that.
Right.
That's the one thing you can bank
Well, they're
on
all
is
in
it becomes-
23rd century Starfleet uniforms too, which makes no sense.
Yeah,
But then they get
that was
immediately
weird.
kidnapped by Furies, which all of us in all of our videos are going to call furries. Just get used to it. And the Furies, I had to look it up, are from a non-canon 1996 book. But they're nothing like they were in the book. In the book, they're kind of like a ragtag organization of other beings. And there's like 666 of them or some bullshit like that. They're supposed to be pure evil. In this one, they're the Reavers from Firefly.
I was going to
That's
say
right.
Reavers.
Fucking
They're
ripped it off.
basically Reavers.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're human alien hybrids.
When I saw this, I was like, "Holy shit!" They
Wh-
ripped off
which
the
alien?
Reavers. Like,
Oh, they
That's a great
figure it out
question.
later. They figure it out later, but yeah, they don't necessarily nail it down. So it's half. So I guess they're half cannibal, not full. Have you noticed how many half aliens there are in Kurtzman Trek?
There are a lot, like practically 90% of the characters are fucking hybrids of some kind.
Half
And it
lanthanite, half Tellur.
It destroys the entire point. So in Voyager, B'Elanna was meant to be half Klingon, half human, so that she had the sides of her warring. One was really aggressive. Do I choose peace and that, or can I be some kind of hybrid of the two? So it was meant to be like essentially a discussion on humanity and which side should you choose. Whereas in this, they're just merging like two warrior species together. It's like, well, what's the point of that then?
Is that wrong?
B'Elanna?
Yeah, she was.
Oh, she was hot.
Yeah.
No, she's very hot.
Yeah, should do. Should go.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'd go.
Yep.
I'd go
I'd
warp.
both go.
I'd go warp 7.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they get captured by the furries, and the furries make a demand that they need 30 latinite bars or whatever in 5 hours, or they will eat the kids. And I'm like, I'd just wait 5 hours, and the problem takes care of itself. But they didn't. They didn't. So and 5 hours plays into it because it's God, it's so Chibnall. Chris Chibnall was known for in Doctor Who, like throwing in arbitrary, time clocks to create false, like urgency. And Kurtzman does the same thing. So they get caught, and Admiral Vance, who's a carryover from Star Trek Discovery, says, we need Newsbraka. We need to bring back Newsbraka. Never mind, the last time we saw him was floating in an elevator in the middle of space.
Right. They don't even know the fucker's alive.
Yeah. Well, apparently they knew where he was, and it was pretty easy to find him.
Like within minutes. Literally just shows up.
Within minutes.
I thought I'd made a huge mistake. I was like, maybe he came back and did I miss something?
Nope.
Just...
This is Kurtzman Trek. He was floating in the middle of space. He made it home, was able to develop an elaborate plan by hiring mercenaries who can't even be hired because they eat people, and knew Admiral Vance would call him to come in and help him. He knew all this stuff was going to happen beforehand. So yes. And we get, and the dialogue we get from him is exquisite. It is.
Not just that, but they knew
Star
exactly
Trek.
how they were when they got him in. They knew exactly what plan he was going to use against them, which allowed them to put their plan into place. Which allowed you might as well just bought a fucking lottery ticket, mate.
Yeah,
you would have had better luck on the fucking lottery than getting all that to work. But
From his perspective, he was saying that Holly Hunter was so confident in herself, so confident that she could read him, that if I slip in a couple of things, she'll immediately assume I'm weak, I'm inferior to whoever, and then it to make her think she's guessed his plan when actually he's just fed it to her in information. It's their idea.
The setup is already convoluted because you have these kids on the ship and they're now hostages and stuff. And suddenly, we can't transport them out because there's some bullcrap field blocking our transporters. And now that's not unprecedented in doing it in Star Trek. But then they think there is no other way. There is no other way to deal with this threat apart from bringing a random terrorist that we know we can't trust to bring in. It's like, have you thought about sending a shuttle with, some guys with guns to take them on? They're locked on the bridge, and so that means they're not got guns to their heads. Send in people on a shuttle and take them out. Like they feel that they can outgun whatever ship is cloaked out there, and so the threat isn't that. There are multiple ways that they could save these kids without relying on a freaking terrorist, right? Because suddenly only this terrorist has a weapon that can deal with the furries. and that's why they're trying to reach him.
And they're like, oh, they must be cloaked, and that's why they're hiding, and that's why we can't find
Well,
them.
no fucking shit. They don't just appear out of nowhere.
Yeah,
It's
like
got
he
the
did,
best
though.
Premise. It's got the best premise out of all the episodes, in as much as you are doing an away mission on a vessel, and that vessel becomes compromised. Now you have to figure out how to get them back. That is it. That is your leave it.
Yep.
Keep it simple. Now you have the ship trying to work as the B plot on how to get them back, and then you have the A plot on the other vessel on how you're going to get it going, and it's or they're literally just working in sync because dual A plots.
And you're right, because this is the perfect opportunity to show these kids are growing as Starfleet officers and are learning to work together and are learning to communicate with each other. And none of that happens because they're like, no, we got to have, Paul Giamatti welcome.
Well, normally in this story, when you're training kids on something like this, like you're running them through a training exercise, then they're like, oh my god, something's happened, it's actually real. But then all the people at the top actually know it's still a training exercise, we're just running them through it and it gets revealed at some point. But now you can even have Braca playing himself in a training exercise, who's then got one of the... I think that would have been a way better story than this, where everyone's playing off against something else.
Trying to apply logic to this show. I mean, it's
nobody would have
Jesus
worked.
Christ.
I know it works.
It's such a waste of brain power.
I got to give it to Paul Giamatti when he shows up. He's like, "What's up, bitch? I'm here."
No.
I'm
going to read you the dialogue of his first appearance.
Good. I was like, somebody wrote this on a paper and said it's good. Just
my Nala,
bestie or whatever.
Oh my Nala Nala, my space boo, my solar flame, my interstellar bestie. The hills are alive with the sound of murder.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm wanked, spanked, and ready to diplomat. To be a diplomat.
Forgot about
They
that.
called it babes at one point.
1,000 years in the future.
1,000 years in the future.
It's one of the most frustrating things about the entire show for me, because even if you're not huge into Star Trek and everything, there is a certain language that they use, and the fact that we're having people saying bro and and whatever the fuck else is going on in this thing, it's written as if 25-year-olds from California wrote it for 25-year-olds from California, but it's supposed to be the best of the best, the most elite, 1,000 years in the future. If that's the future we're heading to, I am ready to die.
Well, of course, because you require immersion because all of these worlds have lingo, right? It's used by the fans, it's used by the people who care. It's there to establish the universe, but you have to care about that universe, and they don't. This is just another way to demonstrate to you that this isn't a Star Trek story. This is a story about Californians in space doing whatever the fuck Californians in space want to do.
Be gay.
Yeah.
Mostly
do crime.
gay.
Succinctly put.
Yeah, be gay, do crime.
Be gay, do crime, man.
But
the thing that pissed me off more than anything else in this episode is when the Vulcan is like, there was once a great Starfleet officer who said the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one. It pissed me off so fucking much, bro. And then for him to die the way that he does, kind of pointlessly, but also I have not watched a lot of these shows out there. I have watched the original series. Do you remember when Spock gets shot in season? They're like run into random people that have guns and shit, and they're on a planet and Spock gets shot, and they get taken back to the ship, and McCoy's like, "Good thing his heart's where his liver would be, or else he'd be dead right now." Yep. So I don't.
Well, he was shot point blank with a phaser, but the reason they even brought up that line was talking about straight white male whose name nobody can remember here, and he got eaten.
Bobby.
No,
you're talking about
I'm talking about the straight white male that nobody remembers the name, and he is eaten by the furries, and they were talking about his sacrifice. But here's the reality: that's the only line they can remember from any Star Trek.
Yes,
that's why they put it in, and
I think they put it in because he was going to do that retarded thing at the end. Now Spock, the reason why Spock did that is because he could see no other way that the Enterprise could be saved, and the rest of the crew could be saved,
It's his
then going in
solution to the
himself,
Kobayashi Maru. Yeah.
and sacrificing himself to sort out the warp core. This dude walked into a fucking point blank laser blast instead of knocking it with his arm, kicking it out of his fucking hand, anything but. You got the one guy doing actually something amazingly heroic and selfless to save lives, and then you got another guy doing the dumbest fucking retarded shit imaginable
and Vulcans
to try
are
and
stronger.
get glory.
Also,
Three times
if
stronger than
Brett
humans.
Cooper would have hurried her ass up, he'd still be alive. You know, that's
Well, she was busy astral projecting, hiding behind a fucking thing, crying.
Right after that.
Before we move too far from that line, can I just point out that the whole point of the message of Star Trek, right, was that that line isn't universal, that there are situations in which the needs of the one outweigh the needs of the many because of the sovereignty of the individual, that the individual is so important at times that you need to sacrifice a lot to even save one person. And
there's a whole movie about that, Shad.
Exactly.
There's another movie about that, Shad.
Is Data a human?
Because they latch onto the communist, philosophy of, the collective, and that's what they want to remember and push.
And that line when Kirk delivers it to Spock at the end of that, is one of the most powerful chills moments in all of Star Trek. Period.
Yes. The most prominent line in Star Trek. Period.
Yeah.
And they want to forget that and think that it's the communist interpretation.
Yep.
I hate this crap. It's just.
Yeah, and apparently they still remember lines from 1,000 years in the past or 800 years in the past too. I guess.
Can't remember who said it.
Vulcan's logical, so Vulcan's not looking at it from the perspective of communism. He's looking at it from the perspective of simple numbers.
I will argue.
Yeah, he would have done it if it was the only way off.
Shad, I will. Why did I say Shad? Why do I do that all the time?
Shaft.
Shaft.
Shad.
I would argue that Johnny Spocksville did the one logical thing in this show by killing himself and getting out of it.
F this stuff up.
It really boils down to just poor storytelling.
Of course it is.
Because
pretty much
he needed to die. They were in a terrible situation, cannibal aliens being outplayed at every turn. Somebody had to bite the bullet just to give stakes to the event, right? And we kind of knew this guy. He'd been there. He was a good sacrificial puppet, but it's the setup. This is a man with military training that we have seen engage in hand-to-hand combat drills, choosing to kill himself. I get that he needed to die, but you could have found a better way.
So many ways. Like the fact that he moves in front of the phaser means that he could have just pushed the phaser aside.
Yes.
But he's like, no, shoot me instead. Are you a retard?
Shad.
It's because one of the things they're doing is subverting and inverting the classic trope of man saves damsel in distress. But for that, they had to destroy Caleb by making him the damsel in distress, crying on the ground despite everything we've seen about his character before. So it didn't fit with his character. But the only way they know how to do is to make someone heroic, is to drag this other person down to a level of scum.
Yes. Yep. And these are the same writers who later on, when everything's going down and we found out they've been betrayed and the furries get in and they just killed Johnny Spocksville, that Brett Cooper comes in and wants to talk about her feelings in Caleb's head for a few minutes.
Yeah, why not?
While everybody's dying around them. But hey, credit to Gaydon. He found some bravery and learned how to fight to defend his boyfriend.
Kind of fight. He basically just held someone.
Yeah, just hey.
Yeah, and he looked disgusted.
Progress,
while
not
he was doing
perfection.
Again, that actually, if we were doing this in a logical way, that could actually been something. The thing that kicks his gay fucking love interest who wants to bend over and fuck in the ass, that could have been finally the thing that made him awaken his
next episode.
Spirit, right? That could have been the thing that made him say, okay, I'm going to fight and it's okay to fight. And instead it's just and he holds.
Are you sure there's not a little Vulcan in you?
There will be.
What should have been happening on the bridge is maybe get their fucking retarded hologram to work on the computer. Then you have Caleb and the Vulcan learning how to cooperate, being Starfleet and the War College. Then you have fucking Gaiden, instead of giving his fucking boyfriend the googly eyes, learning what it means to actually be a medic in the field and seeing this for the first time raw. These are the elements that you needed to lock in to do, and this is going to fucking scare the shit out the writers of Starfleet Academy. It's called characterization!
What?
Well, also, if you wanted to go down that route, it would be better.
Characterization. It's called giving your fucking character some character. They've treaded water now for 6 episodes. None of them have grown. If anything, they have fucking regressed. And more importantly, and probably honestly, none of them are actually in any shape, way, or form cohesive to the previous episode. They are not consistent as characters.
The characters are so bad that they have to have another character go on this long monologue to explain her inner feelings and motivations.
Oh, dude. You mean Paul Giamatti giving the background of Holly Hunter? Now, guys, what's the name of the Betazoid character?
Betazoid?
Fuck, fine. Who cares?
Huh? Starts with an A.
No.
Less
Betazoid.
attractive
With
Brett
T.
Cooper.
Yes.
I thought it
Starts
was
with a T.
Tareem or something.
Starts with a T.
Terima or Teresma.
I had to look it up. In the 6th episode, I had to look it up. But it's like Terima or Terima or something like that.
Oh,
Tiramisu.
Tiramisu.
But as this point, if you wanted characterization...
Fuck off this, boo, because tiramisu is fucking lovely.
Yeah, and you watch it naked. But it never wears clothes. But the Klingon would have, like, if he wanted to be medic, his boyfriend should have died, because now you're teaching a medic about loss, something that he's going to have to deal with a lot when he's being this. You can't save everybody. This is someone that you cared about, and now it's there.
And also, don't
They
be
can't
gay.
deprive him of his tight little wet hole. Nobody finally found it.
But there is also something more stupid than broadcasting sound waves in space. Is in that scene, she broadcasts sound waves remotely onto another ship where she doesn't exist.
Okay.
Like, she's not connecting to Caleb.
We need to preface that.
zero sense.
So what Disparu's talking about is the solution. The reason they got
Final solution.
The final solution for they got Newsbraka there.
No, nice Brock. He's nice
Brocka. I'm on his
broccoli.
side. I'm on his
Nice
side.
I forgot his name and started calling him Bisto because it's
So the
Everyone is
reason they needed him was he knew how to defeat the furries. And he basically was in control of some quadrant between 2 wormholes. He wanted his control back, and they decided to give it to him. And he gave them the weapon he used to defeat the furries, because we find out that the other half, the alien species that they're basically bats. They're basically bats.
But they're basically not, because we've already established the half human, half alien.
Well, the half alien part is bats.
narrows it down.
But then you can't be half alien. Then you'll be half a human, half Scudeth Path.
But
You wouldn't be just half alien. There's a lot. You literally saying that to a half alien and another half alien in the fucking room.
They have like after images of themselves coming around as they move and stuff. Like there was nothing human about them.
That's the bat part of them, Disparu. Come on now.
Oh, sorry, I forgot those famous bats.
That's how bats work.
My favorite part about this is they're basically like the most easy solution ever.
Well,
Like they're part bat, and I'm like, a computer.
The
couldn't have
Krillitanes.
Yeah,
It has.
Just be loud.
Doctor Who season 2.
Yes.
The Krillitanes. So
The Krillita. Yeah.
So
school reunion.
Yeah, so that's basically what they are. They're half like bat alien, half human. So the big answer to this was it's a sonic weapon that can kill them in space. A sonic weapon in space. But this is also the same Star Trek that gave you sonar in space.
Hold on, guy. Just for all the fans out there of Starfleet Academy. Hey, Google, can a sonic weapon work in space?
She's got to think about it.
Technically,
No.
yes.
Sound requires a
sort
medium,
of.
like air or water, to travel, and because space is a vacuum, sonic waves cannot propagate. Why it fails. Mechanical waves. Sound moves by vibrating molecules in a sequence. Without particles to bump into, the energy stays at the source. Alternative, to deal damage in a vacuum, you would need electromagnetic weapons, lasers, or kinetic projectiles, railguns. Would you like me to suggest?
No,
She's still going.
you've already embarrassed them enough.
By the way, the reason it works through vibrations, all that's why the bone conduction headphones from Raycon.
But hang on, Arch was going to say something really intelligent. I want to hear.
Like, listen, if you wanted a sonic weapon to work in space, because space is not a perfect vacuum. There's matter in space. There's very, 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 very little of it. You'd basically have to create some sort of conductive jet, like a smoke screen or something, firing matter at the enemy ship at hyper velocities to then carry the sound waves to the enemy ship, and then assume that the enemy ship doesn't have armor or anything, or bafflers, or isolation, or no, it's very stupid.
The entire reason that they were able to find the cloaked ship was because of the small particles of matter that were existing out there, that are floating out there. That's the entire reason they were able to find the cloaked ship to begin with.
Let me ask you this. What about if the A plot on the main ship was the fact that they knew who the aliens were and they realized that they were vulnerable to sonar, but how'd you get a sonar weapon to go through space? And so the main plot on that becomes we need to develop the way to make it conduct through this narrow corridor of space so we can knock them out to give us time to... That's what a Star Trek episode would have been.
I mean,
but I find the
graveyard. You can there's probably debris. You can probably bounce the
you can just use the Betazoid's mutant powers to tap into Caleb's head.
They're just telepaths, right? Betazoids are just telepaths, right? They don't have.
She's Professor
Magic.
Even none of that works, because the only reason they found out that this was a weakness of them in the first place was because the villain told them the correct answer to his own trap.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But Gary is 100%. The answer is magical bullcrap. We are beyond. We are beyond superpowers of X-Men. This is literally just magical bullcrap that she projects a spell to kill the aliens. That's
she's Black Canary
to the away team.
She's Black Canary.
And Noose Bracca just magically knew that there was a super secret starbase really close to there that had the specific ship that they needed to modify the sonic weapon, and they were going to do it within 5 minutes.
Yeah,
they did it within 5 minutes.
Starship.
It's retarded because they took that ship out so fast. Why did they need to draw it away to take it out to leave the base defenseless when they could have gone there, blown up the ship?
There was other ships there. How was it defenseless? They only took one ship.
Yeah, they went to one ship.
You know what, Jordy?
But this is also the same stuff. No,
ready to warp in on command. 5 capital ships.
They forgot all about it.
Fucking dick them in the ass, bigger than fucking Gaiden and Kyle.
We also have to keep in mind that this is Starfleet, who has the super secret organization of Section 31. That
with their own costumes and
with their own costumes and badges and ships.
Starfleet officers escorting them.
It's like the Gestapo just walking through with fucking Hugo Boss outfits on, going, "Oh hi!"
It's like the Gestapo walking around. It's like the Gestapo walking around with a policeman next to him, going, "You can't do that; it's against the law."
This show is so on every level. It's just
stupid.
But you know what Jordy would have done? Like, if this was written by smart people, it's like, oh, we need sound waves to actually kill these things. They would have modified like a low power phaser to hit the hull of the derelict ship to make it vibrate to produce the sound waves needed.
Shad, no, you have a hologram on board who can phase through things. You can
fucking massive whore of a hologram.
You can program the hologram to emit the sound needed. Any sound needed. Yes.
You know, the one that can light up your ship, talk to your computer, do anything they want. That's impervious to phaser. Oh,
yeah.
Never mind.
She decided to get rid of that one.
But no, the only correct solution. All of this is nice.
The only final solution
is that we all stop coping and just accept that there is no solution to this shit.
Dude, they spent 25 minutes cutting a hole to get his
arm
arm to go like that in.
Yeah, so you can flip them off.
I can shoot blindly at things.
Stupid.
They was just defeated by just walking to the side of the door.
I just realized they are fucking retarded. Okay, what we're changing plan right now. We're coming over in a big fucking shuttle and we're just gonna pick you all up. Okay, cheers.
Yeah.
Now, Disbury mentioned it, but we need to I emphasize this more. That ship that warped in was one of the most ugly pieces of crap.
Ugliest.
The worst Star Trek ship I have ever seen.
And they called it
that was an
Intrepid
Intrepid.
class.
That was their version of an Intrepid class.
Yeah.
I think they were going for a stealth bomber. I think that's what they were aiming for and just missed. It was like a melted
You can't have a
pyramid.
stealth bomber when your fucking nacelles are 50,000 miles to the left and right.
I think that's one of the issues. It ruins the outline of a ship when there's big holes in it. Whenever you look around, it doesn't work.
Who thought that was a good idea to have a bunch of independent pieces floating around close to each other and calling it a ship?
He's called Alex Kurtzman. Fucking retard.
And they're rendering it down to just basic geometric shapes like a kindergarten kid. Just like, well, here's a spaceship. It looks like a retarded block floating around with connections. Or no connections. It's like Star Trek ships were awesome. They're one of the most fun parts, these cool design ships. Now they have random
They had
blocks.
the best ships. The best ship porn is in Star Trek, and now it's just shit porn.
Yeah. It's buying the Enterprise from Timu.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, triangles and circles? And they're like, sure, why not?
It's just a triangle here and a block here that are kind of floating around. I hate it.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking wild, man. And then killed them all with sonic attacks.
Yeah, and then the ship got blown up, but then it didn't get blown up.
It was a feminist empowerment scream.
Yeah. Yeah, it really was.
I am woman, hear me roar.
Like the ones like the ones in The Witcher. It's the same thing.
Rebel Moon.
And Rebel Moon, yeah.
The power of one.
I'm to be honest, if that bitch was screaming in
two.
my ear too, I'd want my head to blow up. So yeah.
They didn't. She didn't defeat them. They actually did it themselves.
Yeah, they
So we-
Oh no. Yeah, all that also done without damaging him whatsoever.
That was wild. Nobody else was harmed by that. And then, like, instead of it being like, it knocked them all out or incapacitated them, they're just start exploding.
As I got time to add that in. I gotta add. I've already gotten a couple ideas just talking to you guys. There's some really good fucking lines in this. I put one up on Twitter where he's just like, yeah, they're just in sphincter puckering asshole whatever fucking pain. And the only way they can relieve it is by splooging it all over you. It's like,
they've fallen into the trap of making the main characters so insufferable. Every time a villain attacks them, you're like, yeah, just carry on with that.
Yep.
Like, so when he's like, you just sit in that chair, you mean nothing to me. You have no power
he
here.
made her
sit down there until I tell you.
He made her sit in a chair properly. That was my favorite part of the episode. So at the end, I want to ask you guys at the end, New Spraka basically somehow this was all part of his plan, and he knew all this random stuff was going to happen. Like he knew that there was a star base, and they were actually it was all a distraction to get to the star base that was somehow
super secret military base making weapons,
completely undefended. By the way, despite there was other ships there, and he was able to raid it all and succeed.
The absence of that one ship was enough to make the difference. That one ship that just got fucking annihilated, in no time. That he needed that ship to be away.
Do you know the worst thing? Then he said that the fucking base held out for 16 minutes.
Oh,
what the fuck were they using?
It was 18 minutes. They bravely held off for 18 minutes.
18 minutes,
okay?
Shad. Not
to be fair though, it said that like Discovery didn't get the message to go and defend them. That's why if you're relying on Discovery,
that's right.
It's no wonder.
Yeah.
But they had 4 or 5 capital ships 5 minutes away.
They completely
capital ships
that we never saw,
and they never mentioned again.
But he says we couldn't get the message through to them because of them blocking the signal from the base which was being attacked, which wasn't being attacked when the fucking Intrepid ship had come in. So they could have come in with the Intrepid fucking ship.
Or
in other words,
like
he shit.
Well, you could have just swapped the one ship with the 5 capital ships that are just waiting there. Like, reinforced. This is basic strategy.
Exactly. Like, oh, we rely on this ship for defense of this super secret base and it needs to go. How about we bring in a couple more ships just to replace
why don't we take one of those 5 capital ships that are a light year away and just have them come out?
In the first episode where the Athena absolutely annihilated one of the ships that we just saw today, who could take all of their fucking volume of fire this time around?
Yeah.
And it was also another ship of a bunch of random pieces floating in next to each other.
Yeah.
So in the final message where, and I'm with Newsbrock on this one, he just tells Holly Hunter that he hates her.
Good. I love him.
So
he's the audience stand-in at this point.
He is.
Yeah.
He is the surrogate for the audience. Why do you think he hates her so much? With what everything they built up, especially him explaining basically her son's entire story to her.
She jilted him. That's what I'm going to go with.
She was his teacher.
I mean, she's the one that did catch him and put him in prison, right? I don't know if there's anything beyond that or if it's just from
It might
that.
not be beyond that, but it feels like there is.
She was the judge. Like, she didn't even capture him. I don't know why you'd blame the judge for sentencing you and not the person that caught you doing the crimes. Or if you got caught, I'm sure most criminals are like, yeah, okay. Like, that is your job. Do you really hold, like, a grudge against the guy that caught you doing the thing you knew
I'm
you should be
thinking
doing?
there's something more to it.
They're going to make him an incel.
They probably fucked. Yeah, I mean, it seems like she's gotten around in the 392 years. So
I'll never forgive you for snapping off my dick.
Because how old is he supposed to be?
I wouldn't put it beyond them making him her son somehow. Like,
that would be amazing. No, I want them to do that.
There was a random line about being a teacher.
That is great.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
Hate you,
Mom. If he ends up being someone who was in Starfleet and then got just
washed out of
Starfleet.
No.
So
that is the only thing that would make his big speech to about a son and said you chose Starfleet over the son is if he was
that's
the son.
what made me think of it.
Yeah, like that's the exact type of thing these writers would do, and they would think them so clever for doing it.
Well, I actually think that's too clever for them. I don't think they're that good.
I don't think they're that good either.
No.
Did you see the film threat Jamie Kennedy experiment thing? Where Jamie Kennedy goes and sits down with the writers of Star Trek and essentially pitches Starfleet Academy, and then they take him out the room, and all the writers there going, "That is the fucking worst idea I've ever heard." And it's like Rick Bergman thinks this is great. We should go ahead with it. And they're just like, "No, this guy's crazy. This guy's crazy. This is stupid." And Jamie Kennedy was going like stuff. Yeah, we'll make him gay. The Millennium Falcon will fly. And it's like, dude, that's fucking Star Wars. Brilliant. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And Alex Kurtzman went, oh yeah, actually. Oh that.
Yes.
Because I steal everything because it's Alex Kurtzman.
More lens flare in this episode too. That was
so much lens flare.
I'm gonna fucking punch the cameraman. I'm gonna I'm gonna kick him in his fucking dick. I am sick and tired. This is fucking shaky cam, like fucking this. It's just like,
and it's all
like
because of J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, it's like
I want
shaky cam.
Yeah. J.J. Abrams loves that technique. It's one of his favorite camera techniques. Is him smacking the shit out of the camera and making it shake a lot.
No, I'm your mother.
It's so depressing. This
it really is.
Like this is where
I'm looking for that video.
Are we done with this shit? I'm so like this thing is so stupid.
X-Ray, go find that video.
No, I just want to say one more thing. When the commander of the away team gets eaten, gets
the
eaten,
video
and
we
all
were
the
just
others,
talking about X-Ray Girl.
Oh, that one. Oh, okay.
And all the others run into the bridge, and they're all like, "Oh my god!" I'm so glad that they managed to spend a moment for fucking Kyle and Jaden to give each other "fuck me in the ass" eyes.
Oh yeah.
That was real. That was real fucking well done, guys. The guy's just been eaten to death, saving your life, and you're just like, "Hey, fancy a bum?"
I can't wait to smash later.
It's like in the scene,
there's not a little Klingon in you. I'll put one there.
Their trainer has just died, saving their lives. First thing to do, start feeling each other up. Like instantaneously when they get to the room.
Speaking of meat, yeah.
Fucking hell. Useless.
Hit play.
You know what you should do, seriously? That's an open discussion. I'm sorry.
You're absolutely right.
Like the first series, forget that. Throw that and the Star Bitch. You know what I'm saying? And what you should do is you need to get in touch with the younger demographic to high school. Okay, so it's like Star Trek High.
This isn't the WB. I mean,
No, who watches that? Not me. Yeah, everyone does. Especially on Thursday. He gets zits.
No
makeup? No makeup. He looks great.
No, I like this idea of a younger demographic being pulled in.
Well, originally there was a
I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm so sorry. Can you come with me for a sec? I want to just come with me. You guys keep talking. I just want to.
Come on, man, pull me out of here.
No, wait, run this thing back. Come here for a second.
That is the worst idea for a Star Trek show. It's so bogus. I mean, are you guys? I mean, am I right? Is that?
Oh, you're absolutely right. Yes. All right, so I'll call back. Hey, so well, I think that he had a really great idea. I think for
that's a horrible idea. High school.
I like Leon's idea so much that I called Rick Berman.
Just so you know, Rick Berman is the executive producer of the entire Star Trek franchise, and he's a god to these guys.
And Rick Berman loved the idea, and he's talking to.
In my first opinion, that guy's crazy. If he's mentally unstable.
He got some facts wrong.
Wrong? He called him a gay horse, for God's sake.
Welcome back. Clearly, there's something there. I think there's something to this idea.
The idea sucks.
He actually said on the phone was saying how he thought you would be great as the principal in the show.
That's actually kind of interesting.
Always using the gay character.
Dude,
the Millennium Falcon is never going to be the same.
It's going to be Star Trek's destruction, he says at the
Yes.
end.
Yes.
Well.
Nielsen ratings.
Turn have mighty the turning of the
tables of
the turn of the tables.
How the tables
turning of the
turned
tables
up.
have turned on the
English.
Even George Takei, there's an interview with George Takei, and someone asked him, "Did you ever approach Roddenberry with the idea of, putting gay people into Star Trek?" And he said he was told, "We're not going to do that because it would kill the ratings." He said, "I always have to think of the audience, I have to think of the studios, and I couldn't do that." And so.
And to George Takei's credit for one thing, when they made Sulu gay in Abrams' Trek, he was against it.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's probably because he remembered that conversation, because that was a recent interview
Either
of the
that
last
or he
few
was
years.
just a jealous gay man. He's like, if I don't get to make out with a guy, you don't get to.
I love that.
I'm sure he's had his share.
I love to this day, William Shatner refers to him as a day player.
Yes.
He doesn't refer to him as a regular crew member. You're just a day player. Shut up. but also, George Takei also fucking demanded, as you know this, demanded behind the scenes that he be a captain. He had to be a captain.
Yes, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was
That's
such
how
a
he got the
fucking
Excelsior.
diva. That they made him a captain. So the Nielsen ratings came out, and I think it was TrekMovie.com said that this was a big hit, Ryan. And there's something missing on this list. I can't quite figure out what it is.
It's wild. And this is on the originals, by the way. Obviously, it would never even sniff the overalls because you have things that, things like 11/22/63, which comes to Netflix and a bunch of people watch it. It racks up a whole season's worth of watch time. The Closer, like things that have a bunch of episodes, never would have made overall. But original might have had a hope. Even things like Acolyte at some point broke through in periods of time at, 8 or 9 on the original list. No Star Trek Starfleet Academy. All it needed was 343 million minutes watched, which you do the math, considering they released 135 minutes, and you've got both of those things going on. You really didn't need that many viewers to get all the way up there to 243 million minutes watched. But Star Trek Starfleet Academy, despite all that runtime, they did not make it. Very,
Holy
very
shit,
sad.
11/22/63 is at number 5, and that's like what? Like 5-10 years old at this point?
Yes, but the thing is, we do see this when things get acquired by Netflix and released. Remember when Suits was like having insane watch time because you've got a lot of episodes all released, people start binging, it gets in the top 10, and it's on the biggest streaming service, so it's not all that crazy. That just came onto Netflix recently. That's why it's there. Yeah.
And this goes to demonstrate that even the normies look at Starfleet Academy and go, that's an awful idea.
Yeah.
Why would I watch
No,
that?
that's why it's hit the zeitgeist. It's crazy that as many people are still talking about it as they are. Because I knew the show would be shit. We all did, right? And we had it circled on our calendar, but I figured we'd talk about it for the first episode and that'd be it. That is not the case. That is not the case with this show, and it just keeps getting worse. and I'm told that the worst episode is actually the last one. So,
How many episodes? Wow.
We got 4 more weeks to go, Ryan.
Exciting.
4 more weeks to go.
I'm glad it's half over.
So
more
there's
than half over.
There's something that's going to actually top that last episode.
Yeah,
with the hologram stuff.
Oh yeah. We're gonna find out that Noose Braca is Holly Hunter's son. That'd be so funny. What's her? She-Hulk still has to come back.
Be a daughter.
Yeah, She-Hulk.
I am your mother.
She-Hulk still has to come back. Why am I blanking on her name?
Oh yeah, she's returning.
Tatiana Maslany.
They did leak which episode. It's the one that Frakes is directing. It's that one. Because he spoke about it ages ago, a couple of years back.
Frakes will take any job now. Okay. You know,
clearly.
He directed a bunch of Picard and Star Trek Discovery. Yeah.
You are right. If 11/22/63 is on the original, I really don't think it should be on the original list if it was, though, comics like you were talking.
I thought it originally came out on Netflix though.
It came out on Sci-Fi forever ago.
No, is that
that's old? It's based off a Stephen King novel where somebody goes back in time to prevent the JFK assassination or whatever. James Franco's in it.
Yeah.
But it's like 10 years old, but it just came on Netflix, which I think is why maybe it was 5 years ago and it just came back. Who knows?
I don't know, because I remember watching it. I swear it was on Netflix at the time, but it could have been something else.
It could have been 5 years ago and they just got the rights back.
I talked about it on like my OG podcast like a gazillion years ago. I remember.
Yeah.
It is kind of interesting, and like the concept of trying to change time and time fighting back and all of that stuff.
Chat saying it was on Hulu. Chat saying it was on Hulu originally.
Hulu. Okay.
That makes sense.
You know what's on Netflix right now? Spartacus, Blood and Sand. I think it's been there forever. It's fucking great. And Smallville's on there too. But Spartacus, Blood and Sand, that first season's 10 out of 10. That thing is fucking amazing.
Yep. Night Agent season 3 coming next week.
Yep.
They're about to get SG-1 on Netflix. I think it's already available in the US even, actually.
It is. It was on Amazon Prime. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
I have the physical media, so...
It makes sense for Amazon to put it on the biggest streaming service if they're doing a sequel, if they're coming out with a new one, getting it as many places as possible.
What they're doing with a lot of shows now, and we just found out they're doing it with Babylon 5 free on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can watch Farscape free on YouTube, and you can find classic
and Fargate.
And Fargate. I added to some. I read out some lore earlier that we got to keep track of as.
Okay.
Because there's a sock puppet involved, and
okay,
but he's the Wesley, and not like Wesley Crusher, Wesley from Angel, character of Fargate. He has quite an arc. We love Fargate. We love Fargates. Who are the Fargate fans?
I don't know. I don't like Jaden, and he's a massive Fargate.
That was pretty fucking good. So, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Let's talk about something fucking good. So, Az, you've seen it all now, and and you liked it.
Still,
we knew you would.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. It is. I actually had a rant in my Starfleet Academy review where I said I only get 6 half-hour episodes of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and yet I've got to watch 10 one-hour episodes of this shit. And it just kind of really summed it up, because I watched all 4 of the episodes as last week, back to back, and that was just like 2 hours straight, a little bit over 2 hours straight of the show, and when it finished, I was just like, I need episode 5. I need it. I need it right now. I need, I can't wait 9 days or whatever it's going to be because of the sports ball. I needed it right now. And it's just wonderful to have, in its simplistic terms, it's just wonderful to have great dialogue for a start. I miss having dialogue that I have to pay attention to.
Yeah.
You know, none of this second viewing dog shit for the mentally retarded fucking people who don't even like your stuff, don't even watch your stuff, will never contribute towards your stuff. It was nice to have dialogue that, not that I had to necessarily just pay attention to, but I wanted to pay attention to it because it was pulling me in. It was making me interested in what was going on, the characters, the story, the plot. You know, kind of getting the nuances of everybody and where their positions were, and although their motivations, you could see people talking one way, but clearly knowing that they were acting, you know, they needed to act another way. And, you know, Dunk is an immediate, very likable character.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's been a long time since I've seen the protagonist of a show that I'm actually rooting for. And I'm like, yeah, I like this guy. I want this guy to succeed. And the reveal of Egg, which was very early on, you know, in the show, if you think about it, you know, George could have dragged that on for a season or two for all we knew. But to have that sort of reveal of Egg on, really worked because it saved Dunk from a very, precarious predicament. But it was
but it also it also is kind of the reason that Dunk was in that position in the first place, right? Because Egg is the one, instead of running to Baylor, instead of running to any guards he knew, he came directly to Dunk.
He came to Dunk.
He came directly to Dunk because he trusted Dunk to stop hurting Tanzel. And only when he realized that Dunk was about to die or get his face smashed or whatever, that's when he was forced to reveal who he really was to save him. But
it's good
he's the
reveal.
one that got him in that mess.
It's a great reveal, though.
We talked about it earlier this week as together. We talked about this, that Dunk is people were starving for heroism. Dunk is what Superman should have been in James Gunn's Superman.
Oh, hell yeah.
And you can tell that people are starving for this because it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. Pretty much everybody's loving this fucking show. It is pretty universally loved if you've watched it. I'm sure there's people out there who will say it's boring. And one of the great things is what Ira Parker has done is it's a different experience for if you've read the book. So the person who you're still enjoying it if you haven't read the book. If you have read the book, because there is so much, there's so many layers to the dialogue, it's a completely different experience for somebody who's read the books, and it's equally engaging, which is just something you never get.
That's huge.
Ever get. Yeah. And it's because you can do that, as Ryan has pointed out, and it's totally simplistic. This story is really Guy, his master dies, his father dies, your mentor dies. It's a basic hero journey story, and he's finding his way in the world, and he has to go join a tournament. I mean, that's it.
It is a relatively simple story, and it shouldn't be super hard to adapt. If you're talking about like level of difficulty, it's very low, but they've knocked it out of the park for the most part. One or two little things here or there, and maybe one thing that we think is very important as book readers that got left out that makes us mad. But overall, there's not too much to complain about when it comes to the adaptation. It's been really solid. And the things that they've added, I think have all been great and all been true to the spirit of who these characters are and what they're supposed to represent and what they're supposed to make you feel. And with not a lot of time, I think they've done a really great job of getting people invested. And because it's being released weekly, so much hype has grown over it. I see people right now, tweeting out and their reactions be like, I just watched the first episode and I don't know what's coming, but I hear people the first episode, I'm already bought in. I'm sold on this thing.
It's nice to see
building momentum.
It's nice to see a simple story for a change. I'm so sick and tired of these over convoluted, retarded plot lines. I'm just done with it.
Yeah. Well, and to Az's point too, it's the fact that they reveal Egg's identity so early. Like a lot of modern writers would have dragged that out for ratings and not because they're not confident that they have anything else to offer. This says something. Good writing is about you reveal information when it's impertinent to reveal it. That isn't a pertinent time to do so, and it doesn't matter how early, because you have to be confident the rest of the story is good enough to carry that instead of having to need reveals every week and stuff. Like in this show.
And it's also the adaptation, right? It's drawn from the book. When it happens in the book is when it happens in the show. Yeah.
But like this show has done more and ingratiated itself more than like 18 hours of Disney Plus shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many
why
times have we
the
watched
reveal
8
was good at
episodes
that
and we go,
time, too.
yeah, we're like, we'll watch like a whole season and go, nothing happened. And like 4 episodes and people cannot get enough of this show already.
Yeah.
So
It's because it builds character. Like we just talked about with what Star Trek was failing. Dunk and Egg are equal characters, and revealing Egg gives him a greater investment in the story. And it creates far more like weight to his character too, because he's obviously going to be the more sophisticated one with the secret story, whereas Dunk is there to be the lovable idiot in a way. Like he's not dumb, but he's naively stupid in a lovable way. Like you can't be offended by him. You can't be intimidated by him. You can only love him because he exists in a world of knights and flowers and honor, and him encountering then the darkness of the real world. That is finally George Martin figuring out what the fuck his books were supposed to be about. This was why he couldn't kill Jon Snow, because you need a fucking hero.
You do.
Well, by finally figuring out what his books are about, you mean when you wrote this in 1996?
Yeah, and then apparently forgot about it.
No,
like, yeah, I mean, there's something beautiful about that simplistic thing of I believe in honor, and I thought that the world was better than it was, and reminding everybody why they became a knight in the first place. Dude, that one moment when the guy gets knighted, I was like, this is great, dude. Like and I don't remember the actor's name, but I knew him from The Gentleman. So when I saw him, I was like, oh shit, it's that guy. But like for a character like that that's so wild and partying and living it up, but when like the time came to like do the night thing, he did it well.
He showed up.
He locked the fuck in, dude. I got chills. I was like, this is amazing, and we haven't seen anything like this in media in a long time. Just
you know why?
Story about
you know why? The reason why I feel this is resonating with so much people. Knighthood in this story is basically symbolic for manhood, and when Dunk is saying, "Are there no true knights among you?" That's Dunk being a man. He's stepping up. Men are supposed to look after the weak, protect the weak, and that's what that vow of knighthood is. That's why, like, I love this romantic notion of chivalry is inherently tied with virtuous masculinity. They're connected. Okay. And that is the thing that modern woke agenda despises. They have masculinity.
And it's not nihilistic either, which is great.
It's not nihilistic. Well,
no, quite the opposite.
I think that there are more. We always get this. Yes. Is it a very gray world in George R. R. Martin's thing? Yes. Do terrible things happen? Yes. And terrible things will continue to happen in the world of Dunk and Egg, because that's just kind of the world that it is. There are people who try to emulate this within the mainline story of A Song of Ice and Fire.
Absolutely.
And maybe the show didn't do a great job of conveying all of that, but there absolutely are people that try to do these things time after time after time. And this, the benefit of this show specifically in these books are that you don't have 12 viewpoints. You're not talking about continent level wars and things like that. You are talking about a simple dude in Dunk who is just thinking about where he's going to sleep the next night and just trying to do the right thing at all times, trying to make his way in the world. And it simplifies the entire thing.
Yeah. I do appreciate that the politics are still there of like, he does still have to be respectful. He can't just mouth off to whoever he wants because he could get killed. Like, and even when I actually appreciated the moment where he's like, are there no true knights among you? And these nobles are like, we don't really fucking have to answer to you, man. Like, I mean, yeah, we get it. Like, you're inspiring people, but like, I thought the moment where the guy stands up and they play the swelling music, because that's traditionally how it goes, and he just fucking farts.
That's a Bracken. Down. The Brackens are pieces of shit. Team Blackwood all the way.
Bracken
fuck
all the
you.
way.
Brackens are fucking punks. Brackens are sellout punks. But what you were talking about, Ryan, because like Song of Ice and Fire, grimdark, sure, but there is heroism in it, and it just doesn't. It comes from different places, and it is certainly established. And Jon Snow, I mean, the books are never going to finish, but he was set up to become the chosen one, which is the most tropey trope thing of all. Now, how it ends is still supposed to be bittersweet, but look at Jaime's story, which they completely fucked up in the show. Jaime was a nihilistic, black-pilled asshole. And by the final book, you're actually worried about him as he goes off to Lady Stoneheart, because he has managed to keep his vows to Catelyn by basically not shedding any Tully blood. And in the Riverlands, he's actually got peace between the Blackwoods and the Brackens. He was able to negotiate that.
Saved
a lot of people's lives. Yep.
So and the irony of all of that is that Jamie is inspired by Brienne, because Brienne, who's not a knight, but thinks all these things and has all these morals and demands better from him, and he wants to live up to that. He's inspired by that, so he's inspired to continue to keep his oaths. And Brienne, in all likelihood, is a descendant of Sir Duncan the Tall.
That's almost 100%.
And is also technically not a knight. So there's a lot of different parallels.
So
Jamie's character is really, really good, and I love what they did with him. And it's such a shame that he kind of has to exist in this universe where at the end the ending of the TV show, everybody hates it because it doesn't give any conclusions. Not to Jamie, not to Daenerys, not to anybody.
No. And the book won't either. The book won't either because it won't finish.
It won't finish,
But that reveal, of who Jamie in the moment that he was labeled the Kingslayer is one of the most beautiful moments I think I've ever seen in a show. That speech, no music, nothing, barely any and it's just him telling you what happened, and Brienne's realization, holy shit, this is not the guy I thought he was. And then even that moment where you realize Ned Stark kind of inspired to be an honorable person. I love that moment. I think it's one of the best moments in the entire show, but yeah, then they just kind of were like, what do we do with this? I don't know. Just have him go back to being what he was before.
Yeah. He was done with Cersei. He's in the books. He's done with all of it. But so the kid from Dunk and Egg has been out making the rounds.
He's my favorite. Dude, I love this kid so much.
I love Dexter Soul Ansel. Him and Dunk are perfect. They're cast perfectly for their characters in the show, but it feels like off camera, on camera, but not on screen. When they're just out doing these interviews, it feels like they truly have a big brother, little brother vibe. And it's fantastic because this kid is out there spoiling the shit out of things he shouldn't be.
So Ryan, he needs to be protected at all costs because the spoiler he dropped yesterday is genuinely good news. This is something that George shouldn't be keeping from anybody. Because I'm actually completely down with what we just found out. So I'm happy to spoil some. We got to preface it by Summerhall. The tragedy of Summerhall, which I'm sure most of you know, is the end of Egg and Dunk. There was Egg was trying to rehatch some dragons. There was a huge fire in the castle. A bunch of Targaryens died, including Egg and including Dunk. Or maybe that's not exactly how it went down.
Did we remind me, did we ever officially get confirmation that he was truly trying to rehatch dragons? Has that ever been written down, or that's just something that we have thought for a long time?
That's something we've thought. It was not something that was known. It was probably a good educated guess. But
here we go. Wildfire.
I love the big guy's reaction to this. It is just so cold. It's just anyway.
A bit about when Egg's trying to make dragons in the summer hall, and then there's a huge fire. But we know from George. We don't know if that is exactly what happened. We know Dunk survives.
We don't know exactly what happened. But let's just get this season 1 out of the way.
He's like Tom Holland. You can't tell him anything.
He's precious. Dude, that is so great. And the dynamic there, he's like, well, we don't really know. He's like, no. He's like, remember?
He was helping him. He's like, you got that wrong. We do know.
You big dummy. Don't you remember? He told us the thing. He's like, dude, that was so good. Oh,
there's another one that came out today too, Gary. Did you see it?
Yeah, there's another one that we're gonna put in there. X-ray
it's
girl.
almost
X-ray girl.
same.
Don't share anything. You don't share anything. Somebody else is gonna have to share it.
Okay,
I think it's
I'll
me.
find it.
Yeah, it is.
Here,
you.
No, I have it here. You can just use.
Yeah, we just dipped on that one.
That's so strange.
It's not strange.
This happens every time.
It happens every time.
It's funny because this one, it is the same thing from Dexter, and Peter Claffey is this exact same thing. Like the same thing continues to happen. And I look, don't tell a 10-year-old kid all this shit if he's not supposed to know, because he is going to say it.
He's excited, bro.
He should be, and it's really cool. But there's some question that gets asked if they were maybe inspired by something surrounding, The Witcher or whatever. And this is Peter Claffey asks his handler or somebody, "Hey, can I talk about this thing?" "Okay, I'm good." And he talks about it, and then Dexter goes off.
Can I say the thing that was
Could you put closed captions on?
Sure.
Yeah.
As long as we're all holding spoilers until perspective.
Oh yeah, no,
episodes,
it's no
great.
spoiler.
He doesn't understand.
That first season, The Witcher, Henry Cavill's thing. I'm kind of this comparison where it's like Dunk is kind of like his movement into Ashford and stuff. He's kind of a less sexy, less confident, less charismatic Geralt of Rivia. That's what I was kind of like. Yeah, that's a good way to go. I think. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
No, I think we can say that he.
I asked. And they said it was cool.
No, I just think we can say that Henry Cavill.
No, God, no, don't say
It's so good, bro.
Both of their faces there are just the perfect encapsulation.
Oh my god.
That is a memeable image if there ever was one.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
So it's really hard to hear, but he's like, "Oh no, we got permission. I was good to talk about that." And he's like, "No, do you think we can talk about how Henry Cavill is going to be?" And he's like, "Oh shit, fuck, don't say that." So the speculation now is that Henry Cavill may very well be Damon Blackfire, because in the second book and likely in season 2. One of the characters, it gets revealed that they fought in the Blackfire Rebellion. There's been a lot of speculation that the Blackfire Rebellion may be shown in some flashbacks and stuff like that. And everyone loves the Blackfire Rebellion. And the idea of Henry Cavill playing Damon Blackfire, like maybe a little old to play Damon Blackfire, but everyone's too old to play their characters.
Yeah, it is. That would be. Do you think that's confirmed, or do you think he's another part? That would make sense. I guess he's not going to be Aegon the Conqueror now.
That's the thing. We've heard forever. Well, not heard forever. It's been fan cast forever that Henry Cavill should be Aegon the Conqueror. Again, a character who should be like 23 years old. But everyone's aged up in the show. It is what it is. That'd be crazy.
You guys carry on for a second.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, there's issues with the stream for some reason. I don't know why. I don't think it has anything to do with sharing our screen. But yeah, it is really funny because the dynamic between them seems such like the dynamic we've seen in parts of the show itself, which is fantastic.
Yeah,
and I love it. Peter Claffey's great as Dunk. Dexter Solancel's just like, he's just adorable. You know what I mean? He's the perfect kid for the role.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the show. I did not expect to like it as much as I did. I obviously was pretty jaded by Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon and stuff, but man, I did not expect this in a show. It's nice.
Yeah, it is. And the intention is for them to have this out every year. The problem is going to be the same problem that we run into with every single George R.R. Martin adaptation, which is it's not fucking finished.
Yeah.
There are 3 Dunk and Egg novellas. There are 2 more that George says he's working on, but he's been working on one of them since 2009. These books are like 120, 130 pages. Shouldn't take that fucking long. And so when we get these 3 episodes or these 3 seasons and we get all that source material, what happens after that? George has said, I have plans for 10 more Dunk and Egg stories. I think I have plans for a dozen more in my head somewhere if I could only get them out. If I could only fucking write them. Fuck you, George, you fat piece of shit. But like, what's going to happen then? Because if we just get 3 seasons, I think it's okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
But it's not going to be okay for the studio to stop there. They're going to want to continue to make them.
Well, if they're as good as this season 1 is shaping out to be, it's going to be the biggest TV series like the ongoing running, and they're going to want to milk it more. because people are getting on board. They're seeing that this is great.
Yeah,
but it's great because we got the source material, just like Game of Thrones. You have the source material that's been adapted. It's been adapted pretty faithfully, and so that's why because the strength of that is making this work. We all know what.
Once they deviate from that, they could fuck it up royally.
The biggest problem
George
is
might
that-
not drag his feet as hard on this one though, because he's getting praised for it. Like I think the 98% of the reason why he will never finish Game of Thrones is because he knows what the ending is and he knows it's shit and that everybody hates it, and so he's just like, yeah, no, I'm just not.
Yeah, and these are obviously quicker and simpler as well. I think one of the problems he's run into.
Okay.
Are we back?
Hi. Camera was on the whole time, huh?
We should put a link to the new stream in
No, it's not a new stream. It's the same
Oh,
stream.
it's just start restarting.
I'm gonna see.
Okay, there we go. It looks like it's
It looks good. It looks good now.
It looks good.
Yeah.
All right, we were just for you guys that were not able to listen. We were just having the most incredible discussion.
Yeah,
that's
it kind of
ever
was
been
pretty
had
good.
on the- Amazing,
and you'll never know.
Basically, at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, I don't trust. Like, I think it's been great, this adaptation so far, but I do not trust these people in the same way that Dan and Dave had a great adaptation the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones. But when they had a skeleton of the rest of it, it was a complete fuck up. Yeah. I don't want that to happen to this show. If we get 3 excellent seasons of this show based on the source material we have, I want to call it there because you can. I don't know if they're going to do that if this is getting views and making money. They're going to want to keep moving on, and they're going to be happy with George's little fucking treatments, which could be a page where he says, "Dunk and Egg, go and do this." And I just don't think it'll be the same because the reason this is beloved is because it's a direct translation of George's work onto screen.
Like Ryan, I'm not as hard on George as you are, but if he cannot do a short story in 3 years,
there's a problem.
Like, there's something now. It's like the guy is like.
The thing is, he can, but he wants to do other stuff. So they need to make, like, essentially a series contingent on him writing the books. They have to give him a reason to sit down and write, that we will not do any other series if you won't do this. Or if we give you this, then you have to commit to doing this kind of thing.
That would be smart.
Because at the moment, he's just riding off his kind of previous glory and enjoying being part of, like, Hollywood, essentially.
Watching him at like conferences and stuff, and he goes, "Why are these guys so mad about my unfinished books? I don't get it." You know, and people are like, "Yeah, those toxic fans." He's like, "Yeah, right." You're like, "Bro, shut the fuck up and write your books." Like,
well, you have to remember, like, Brandon Sanderson would be the other side of this, where he finished up to a point and then said, "I'm going to be taking a few years off this because I need a break," and then the break turns out to be turning all of his stuff into movies. So he'd already planned it out. He'd warned everyone. He'd set it all up and everything. So. Like, you just have to set timescales you know you can meet.
And, well, yeah, exactly. And you have to meet those obligations that you set to
and
yourself.
don't hand your unfinished fucking show off to some writers that don't know how to do it. Like,
well, I get the other side of that. He's writing them himself. So it's not like I'm taking a break and doing nothing. Yeah. I think most people understand if you give them a reason why you're doing it. Even if you're just like, I'm bored. If I wrote it now, it'd be awful. I'm writing this instead. Yeah. Like, the audience give you leeway. It's not like they've been battering down his door because he hasn't written anything in a week.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Chat, how much of the spoilers did you guys hear? Do we want to try to replay those clips, you think? I wouldn't mind hearing them again.
It might be worth it because they're great. And
Yeah, 'cause I think you guys missed a lot of that, but I'm waiting for the chat to see. Were you having the same problems on Rumble as well?
Yeah.
Apparently not. They said no.
They said no.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm wondering.
Interesting.
I'm wondering
Yeah,
if
chat's
it's
saying yes.
yes. Okay. So
Yeah, they're saying yes.
it's OBS. There was just an update yesterday too.
Oh, it's the worst. Okay, let's try this again.
Yep. Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Run it
Do
back.
it live.
Do it live. We'll do it live. No, fuck it.
I used all my brain power on these already. We already talked about it.
You have plenty of brain power, brother. I have faith in you.
A bit about when Egg's trying to make dragons in the summer hall, and then there's a huge fire. But we know we know from George. We know.
We don't know if that
We
is
know,
exactly what
we
happened.
know Dunk survives. But we don't know if Egg survives yet.
We don't know exactly what's happened. But let's just get this season one out of the way.
It's so good, bro.
He knows it's something where he's not quite sure if he should say it, and he's like looking at Peter, and he's like, we know this.
And what I love, he's like, da-da-da, but as soon as it's up, yeah, and he doesn't let the little guy know that he just did something that was like.
In the world of A Song of Ice and Fire lore, this was like dropping a bomb last night. Like, and I first saw it last night. I think the first person who tweeted it has like 5 followers or wasn't a big channel, and that thing just blew up on Twitter, and I could not believe it when I saw it. I'm like, this cannot be real.
In the world of A Song of Ice and Fire, like the content creator community, because there's been so little actual content from the mainline story for so long, 14 years, whatever it is, people have had a lot of time to think and discuss and theorize about things that have happened. And there's some things that are fan theories that almost feel like canon at this point, just because people have been talking about them for so long. But the idea that Dunk is alive, although people may have floated it here or there, that's a shocker that Dunk survives Summerhall, and that even Egg says we don't know about Egg, but we know Dunk survives. The idea that Egg is the idea that his identity or that his fate might be in question is crazy too.
Mm-hmm.
Because go ahead.
I floated. That was my hope. Like in our live stream review, I said I hope that in my own personal canon, I want Dunk to survive. So this is like,
that's funny because somebody responded like Shad's headcanon's true. Then what? So how did he survive? Why didn't they write about him? What was his destiny? Where did he go afterwards? Because he was pretty old in Summerhall. How old was he, Ryan?
About 66.
In the 60s.
In the main line, in like A Song of Ice and Fire, like Game of Thrones timeline, he would be like 110 or 115 years old, during that time. So the idea that he's still alive now, probably not. No. But what if he's cold hands, Scary?
Oh, I heard that one. I'm like,
what if he's cold hands? What if Blood Raven like mind fucked him or whatever and brought him up north of the wall? What if he's cold hands?
He died a long time ago. Well, he would have had to become a member of the Night's Watch, and that would have been post Summerhall.
And maybe he did. I don't know.
Maybe he did.
That's why I never heard of him again.
Yeah, maybe he went up to the wall.
He knows Aemon pretty well. Aemon.
Well, he escorted Aemon and Bloodraven up there, so I'm sure Bloodraven probably told them the reason we're really coming up here was not because we killed some Targaryen, some Blackfire in dishonor. The reason we came up here is because we know the Song of Ice and Fire. We know the prophecy of Azor Ahai.
And obviously it's out of my wheelhouse a bit, but what if it's because maybe Egg dies and he feels such guilt for it? That's what pushes him to the wall.
It might. But he would, I think the prophecy is everything. And the reason Bloodraven and Aemon really went up to the wall, I mean, there's a lot of reasons given, but and basically Egg sends Bloodraven up there and has this huge escort and lets him take his raven's teeth too, because Bloodraven said there was a Blackfire Targaryen who wanted to make a claim, and he's all, oh, you're totally safe. You can come to King's Landing. We have parlay. We won't do anything to you. The minute he walks into King's Landing, they fucking cut his head off. Egg's all, that's dishonorable to the crown. You're going to the wall. That's not right. He went to the wall. He went to the wall because he knew about the prophecy and knew what was coming. So maybe that's another reason Dunk went out there. Maybe Dunk had a different destiny after that. And that's why the Targaryens were absolutely obsessed with, hatching dragons again, because they needed to. That's me.
I saw some people say maybe he's Mance Rayder. There's so many Mance Rayder theories, but I think he's a little too old for that. He has to be undead of some sort to be present in the series. I saw people saying that Egg is actually Varys. But I think he's a little too old for that too. Although it would make things very interesting, but I don't think the ages match up.
A couple of them said that Dunk's father was thought to have been on the walls. Is that a part of the story, or is that just someone saying random things?
Dunk's father's probably dead.
Okay.
Yeah. He said he got hanged and Dunk.
Yeah, he did.
I have a question, just kind of tangentially related. Like, in today's media, like, secrecy is kind of everything, and anytime any spoilers get out or stuff gets leaked, these companies freak out and stuff. Does this make you more excited, or like, does this ruin something for you guys? I just wonder, because it seems like more people are excited about hearing some kind of spoiler than they are disappointed or frustrated, which is kind of like a lot of these companies make it seem like every time spoilers get out, it's ruined something for everyone.
So, one, I think people do like spoilers in general. Like, not everybody. A lot of people want to avoid them. There's a difference with this fan base, because I think even the ones who are still holding out this hope, they know this story is never going to get finished. So when we get little morsels like this, it is a piece to fit into a puzzle in which will never be finished, but you have a little bit more context of what it could possibly look like. I think that's why something like this exploded within the Song of Ice and Fire fandom.
I think it's great news finding out that Dunk lived. I think that's the best news possible. And for precisely the reasons Ryan stated, this is the only new information we're going to get. So
that makes sense.
There's another part, like, because I love Dunk's character so much. I'm invested in him. And one of the things that always, bothered me is like, this character I love that, is a hero and everything has a horrible end at Summerhall. That's like a bit of a downer for me. That's like, it's supposed to be down. I want him to.
Not really.
That's very George Martin.
But it's also not a horrible end for him. What we have always thought happened at Summerhall was that Aegon was trying to bring the dragons back. Something goes wrong, maybe because of his arrogance, or maybe because somebody sabotaged him. We still don't know anything around that. But that Dunk helped save members of the royal family, maybe using that big foot in the process to break down a door, who knows? And he saved the Targaryen line and helped save people. And it's not like he was a young person. He was 65, 66 or something at Summerhall. So,
he went out like a hero. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, like he's going out saving these people that he's known, and the family of Egg and everybody. So that's not a horrible end. It's a heroic end, I think.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
So let's hear the other one that we missed.
I don't know if we got clear. Can I say the thing that was asked about the Geralt of Rivia?
And he's checking with his handler to make sure that he can talk about this, by the way.
That first season of The Witcher, Henry Cavill saying, I'm kind of this comparison where it's like Dunk is kind of like his movement into Ashford and stuff. He's kind of a less sexy, less confident, less charismatic Geralt of Rivia. That's what I was kind of like, yeah, that's a good way to go, I think. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
No, I think we can say that here.
I asked. It's cool.
No, I think we can say that Henry Cavill.
So he doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything specifically about Henry Cavill playing Daemon Blackfire.
No, this is an extension of what people are extrapolating from it. But of all the characters that could, he ain't going to be Eustace. Like, if Henry Cavill's in season 2 of this, there are only a handful of characters that would make sense. Daemon Blackfire being one of them.
Yeah. And this is from Dragon Demands, and I love his videos, dude. The way his voice sounds, it's probably not like this way, but the way his voice sounds, he always sounds like he's on the verge of a nervous breakdown. With the way he does his videos, he's like, George will finish the book, guys. George will finish the book. But I listen to him. So, the A Song of Ice and Fire lore people are very happy right now. They, they'll be able to feed their children for the next week or so. And listen, if Dunk and Egg keeps at this quality over a certain amount of time, and let's just go with Fantasyland, Ryan. Let's say George finishes a couple of novellas. This could go down as the best Game of Thrones show if it keeps at this quality. If it keeps at this quality, that's a big if.
That's a big if. If it stays out of 9, if it stays at a 9 out of 10 for fucking unlimited seasons, yes, it would go down in
if
history. as the
George doesn't have a falling out with Ira Parker in the middle of season 2.
Yeah, exactly.
If George doesn't get mad at the kid for spoiling Summerhall, we'll see.
But the story is out now that we know it's Aegon Targaryen. We know the history. Like if you paid attention in the show, like eventually he becomes king, and Dunk becomes the head of his King's Guard, and his descendant. There's some stuff that happens with his descendants, including his son, who he names Duncan. Causes a tussle with the Baratheons. There's a lot of things. If they
the small folk are mad at him because of his upbringing. He's a lot more sympathetic to the small folk. Hey, he's based. He wants to cut taxes. So, and that pisses off a bunch of lords. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff ahead. Hey, listen. That last, I was watching it with Mahler, and we talked about it for 3 hours, Ryan, on our reaction, a half an hour episode. The end of that, I mean, it's great seeing those clips just go, with the Game of Thrones theme, and are there no true knights among you? And then Baylor comes in. It's like, we've been dying for something like that from TV, and it's a pretty simple scene. But,
and I don't know if you were here for it or not, Gary. You might have been off camera, but the idea of continuing this with just skeletons of plots, I think that's a terrible idea, because some of the reasons that we're loving what we're seeing is because it is direct from the page.
Yes. Going beyond what he has written is I would just end the series.
Me too, because these stories, although we're talking about the culmination in Summerhall and all of that. Yes, there are stories to be told beyond that. However, these stories, these novellas they're little bookended stories. They're little standalone stories.
And they can end after 3 seasons, and you wouldn't have blue balls. You'd be all, that was a nice 3 series of television. That was really neat. And this is, Shad, the power of world building. This is what George does best, is he has this huge world that he's built that's the background, the tapestry of this. So these little stories can exist, and even normies are aware of Targaryens and houses, right? And you have the backdrop of the Blackfire rebellions, which we're going to learn a lot about through this series. And I'm guessing what they're going to add to the next one, Shad, is a lot of flashbacks to the Blackfire rebellion. I think we get a lot.
There's a lot of framing and background to that.
And I think we're going to get some aftermath of the Blackfire Rebellion in the next episode. It looks like there's a ton of flashbacks of young.
Yeah, there are. If you see on the trailer for this next episode, there are now there's flashbacks, and it's like, okay.
It actually makes a lot of sense. I've been talking about this all season about how they're going to divvy up these episodes. And when we got to here in episode 4, my question was, what do they do with all this time? And I think that either we start the show with a flashback, we get 10 minutes of flashback before we get to the prep for the fight, and then as the fight ends, the episode ends.
I think the episode ends.
We're saving something big for episode 6.
I was thinking it would be in 5, but with the flashbacks, I'm like, it's in 6.
And it makes sense to me. I don't think they should put it in 5. I think you have to put it in 6 because not much happens after that.
No. But this is going to be, I think it's actually smart that they released it early, because now you had a couple of extra days of total hype, which
it's just been building.
It got newer viewers, and this one's going to probably be the most watched episode so far. And I fucking love it. I'm so happy that we have this and we can talk about it every week, and the bingers can always wait. And that's fine. And you'll really enjoy it binged. You will. Like, this will be great. I've been just watching the single episode and then going back and then watching the previous episodes right before a couple of times. And, it was cool watching it with my wife, who hadn't read the books. So when the egg reveal, she's like, no way. She jumped out of her chair. So that was cool to see. And this is why we do this stuff, man. I keep waiting for something like this to come along, and 1 out of every 100 shows, we get a good show once in a while. And we'll get about 10 more bad shows.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure this is going to change anything. This is based on the story that was written in the 90s, where, classic tropes and heroism was still, common and stuff.
Mhm.
What else do we have in the pipeline that's even going to approach,
as good as a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms?
I've been hearing really good things about the Pendragon cycle, which I am going to be watching at some point.
I watched 2
to review
episodes.
it. I haven't seen it yet, so I think that they're on episode
3,
5. They just
episode 6 is coming out this week, I think, and then there's one more after that. So hopefully by the time the finale comes around, I can catch up with it.
Yeah, I watched the first 2. I thought it would be shit, to be honest with you. And it's engaging enough, and it's like a real TV show, despite the fact that it's, listen, I have expectations for different streamers. This is Daily Wire, but it looks like they put a ton of money into this. And it's actually pretty well directed, pretty well acted. I like the whole lore of using Atlantis. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool so far. We'll see where it goes. I'm going to watch the rest later, but
it kind of had to be. They're all the money they put into it.
Yeah.
It's kind of part of the reason why Jeremy Boring is no longer a go.
Yeah. Well, the other issue too is they couldn't find any other place to stream it to besides their own platform. Nobody wanted to touch it because it was Daily Wire.
So it's also like a Christian work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if they can make it more accessible to a wider audience, I think it will do a lot in getting people on board with it.
Well,
but at
that's
the
the problem,
moment,
Shad. Like nobody wants to touch
Well, that's
it.
the thing.
So put on PVOD,
Netflix and Amazon and all this.
Yeah,
other stuff.
like
put it on PVOD so people can actually individually buy it.
I think they would be. Well, I mean, put it on Daily Wire first, but then make it available on Amazon for. I think that would be a really
Amazon
smart
doesn't
move.
want to touch it.
I think Chris,
but I think Amazon would take it for PVOD. They take everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think Chris asked him this question when he was interviewing him, and he said, look, one of the issues we've got as a company as subscribers is how we do a business, but we also know that there are going to be people that won't see it, and so something they're looking at in the future but don't have any specific plans at the moment. But at least they're aware of it as an
How
issue.
about physical media, Daily Wire?
Yeah, like I would actually potentially buy the physical copy. I have no interest in signing up to Daily Wire. But I'm interested in the show, and so give me a way to get access to the show.
Well, Markiplier is doing independent physical media for his movie, so if he can do it, the Daily Wire definitely could.
Yeah, they should be able to.
Yep, and they should.
Everything that
They
Markiplier's
really
done with that movie is just so cool.
Yeah, and he said the reason why he's doing physical media on his own is because he wants the entire thing from start to finish to just be an independent thing, and then he was turning down major offers from other studios because he wants to continue that in the future. So he's
It's
betting
amazing what
big.
you do when you don't have a ton of wires connected to and tape connected to everything you're working on.
Yeah.
And he's going to make he's going to have tens of millions of dollars worth of profit by the end of everything. I mean, he's already profitable, but by the end of it, it's going to be almost 30 million in profit.
Oh, that's nightmare.
For the studios.
Imagine how high his mattress is going to be by the end of it.
Exactly, but that's just I liked it where it says breaking news. Director of Iron Lung found to be sleeping with director's wife.
Pretty good.
What is Simu Liu going off about?
Oh, everything.
Everything.
What?
He's been telling people, he's been getting involved. People are talking about politics in China or something, and he's telling them to shut up. He's just been, there you go.
Let's just be honest.
Shut your mouth.
He's mostly upset about being Canadian, but
yeah,
I mean, that's
this is in response to, I think, a Chinese, an American-born Chinese person who's competing for Japan. Eileen Gu, that's it. Yeah. Anytime anything about any race, but specifically Asians brought up, Simu Liu, it seems like he's not very fucking busy on many of his projects. Maybe he got killed off really early in Avengers Doomsday or something, because he's got all the time in the world to hunt down anytime Asians are a topic on social media.
It's the only thing he knows.
Imagine getting mad at a kind of
apart from losing money.
When I saw the last thing, I was like, "Yo, bro, you're mad at this guy?"
That's probably why
because you have Eileen Gu and you have Alyssa Liu, one of who escaped to America from China and had to go through a rigorous process just to compete in some of these Olympics and things like that, but is very grateful to be living the American dream. You have another Chinese American who was born here and lived here and basically is competing for China and like promoting communist values and shit like that in Eileen Gu. So that's why that's kind of become a big topic of conversation.
Go live there. Go.
Yeah, cut her loose. She's gone. You're out.
Yep. Shut your trash mouth and pander your dumb shit somewhere else. Hey, Simu, what are the plans beyond Doomsday for Shang-Chi?
Yeah.
You know what they are? You know what they are?
Now.
None. Zero.
That's
what they are. Zero.
It's the Simu
Nil.
Liu universe.
Yes.
It's coming.
There are no plans
Simu Liu.
for Simu Liu's Shang-Chi post Secret Wars.
Yep.
And before that, he's also been going off on all the AI-generated stuff. He's been, this is just dog shit. Anyone that knows anything about martial arts knows this is dog shit.
This is hard enough to get a job out here.
Because Shang-Chi was so authentically martial art.
Yeah.
Now listen, I'm not a fan of AI. It just exists. I understand why, but this
better than Simu Liu.
But this is fucking funny.
Do you hear it?
This meme is funny. Share it, X-Ray Girl.
Shad's smile is just getting bigger and bigger every time we say the word AI.
To make it where we can see it. There we go. It is Popcorn Director, shot 77 sequels and adaptations for a major corporation with studio-mandated black lesbians in them. Your AI video about a cat fighting Godzilla lacks artistic vision.
That's
good.
That's
good.
It's good. Yeah,
It looks like
It's true.
Joe Russo. I think it looks like Joe Russo. So, yeah.
Hey, Shad, do you know who's a really good director?
Steven Spielberg?
Professor X.
Steven Spielberg.
He's a great director, I agree.
Or is he just another bloke and anyone can be a director? Is it just as easy as that? Yeah.
No, I think Steven Spielberg could make one of the greatest AI movies ever.
Oh my god, don't fucking
Yeah.
here, bro.
He already fucking tried. It was fucking dog shit.
Yeah, it was called AI.
That was a movie about AI, not made with AI.
Okay.
I think honestly, Ready Player One was basically that too, and that thing was fucking garbage.
You're not wrong. That is a human AI movie, and it was terrible.
This is interesting. Like, is Steven Spielberg still a good director? It is,
no.
No. The Disclosure Day doesn't look like anything.
I am going to be watching that.
So
that
I'm
does
gonna be
look
watching it
interesting,
too.
But you look at the last. What's the last great movie Steven Spielberg made? I don't know. Now you can't take anything away from the legendary run that he had. However, I do think there's something to be said about directors when they make their best things when they're kind of young and inspired and are like working themselves to the bone and really like pushing boundaries and stuff like that versus when they're kind of fat happy and are just picking and choosing here or there, don't really care. I don't know. There's no doubt that Steven Spielberg's best years are well behind him, but you can't take away the most legendary run that we've probably ever had or ever will see.
No, but Disclosure Day looks heartless. It looks sterile. I mean, it looks technically fine, but it didn't like.
Dude,
when I saw the trailer, I was like, eh.
When Indiana Jones and what was not the last one, the one before, what was Crystal Skull?
Crystal Skull, yeah.
And that's 2008, 2009. We were already talking then that he's, this is a completely different man now because it's all about, I've grown up and I've had family and now I've got grandkids and I've got a completely different outlook because age changes your outlook on life. But
he adopted
when
75
he
kids
was there in his
Capshaw.
in his 80s, 80s, early 90s, whatever, he was just like fucking boom.
I don't even just think it's that. I think it's that once you reach a certain level of success, you've essentially won at life. You have nothing to strive for anymore. You've won it all, got more money than you can ever spend. And I think that you don't strive for things anymore. We even saw it with YouTube. There was a time where everyone's views dropped, and you know what I saw? Loads of videos from people going, how can I improve my videos? They never thought about it before. The moment the views started dropping, it's like, actually, I think I can do this, I can put more work into this, I can edit this. When you need something, it forces you to iterate and improve over time.
When you're hungry, you work extra hard. You'll always give 110% because you need it. Whereas when you're not as much, you go, I don't have to work as hard. I don't have to be as desperate. And that's fine. But as a creative, you won't work as hard. You don't dig as deep to find things there. I mean, you see it in sports. Get a new contract signed there, and their production drops off because they're like, I don't have to work as hard now. I got paid. I got that bag, you know. And then their best years are usually the contract years, you know. Like, it's just how it works. I also just think that, you know, the older guard does get a lot of other things behind the scenes put on them, and they also start getting into production and producing and doing all this other stuff. So sometimes they probably have so much else on their plate that they can't just put all their focus on one project. Whereas when you have nothing else going on, you put all your focus on one movie and intentionally go out of your way to do that. And then, you know, after a while too, like, I've kind of done it all. Like, he didn't even want to put aliens in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That was George Lucas. You know, he was like, you know, so.
But you also get checked more when you start. There are more people. And I know they're like, no, it's just, I want my artistic vision. But you can work so long on something you can't see the project anymore. You have no idea whether it's good because you've watched it so many times. Yes. And this other person coming in and just pointing at the flaws that you can't see is useful. And then you reach such a level of success, you're like, no, we'll just let him do it. And then they see the final vision, like, what on earth is this? What have you made me?
I mean,
which
or if you
that's too late.
You can kick him out.
Well, no. What Disparu is saying, they compare the prequels to the original trilogy, and George had a couple more, you know, people helping him out on the original trilogy, and when he had full control, there was some.
Yeah, there's no Gary Kurtz.
Yep. Shut your damn mouth, Shad, you son of a bitch.
But during the 90s, Lucas had already started to fuck around with the OG trilogy. I want to have this CGI put in here, and I want this extra CGI put in there, and people at that time were just like, George, just you know, leave it.
What if Han shot second?
I don't think I'll ever be done adapting these movies. Maybe I'll just remake them again.
Fucking Gooka Wooka Booka just walking across the screen right now with a stormtrooper on it. R2D2. That was
Jar Jar was a masterpiece.
Why did he add the singing CG alien to Jabba's, you know, compound?
Because it was fucking cool. It was a vibe, Shad. All right,
really?
You want to stand up and dance and hear that shit?
Was it needed? I don't know.
Lapti neck.
I got a good idea. Why don't we add the singing alien here? That would be pretty cool.
Michael,
have Han Solo step on Jabba's tail.
Yep. Let's have an alien take a shit. That'd be great.
Pretty cool.
Have an alien in the corner.
This was always my vision, guys. Yeah.
I'm gonna call this guy Snooka Booka Hooka Pooka.
No Gary Kurtz. Gary Kurtz left to change George.
Hey, I like it. We get to see. We got in the special edition. We get to see Dash Rendar, so I'm cool with it.
Remember Dexter?
What?
Dexter Jetster.
BRB.
That's the clunkiest hug I've ever seen in my life.
My favorite part about that Attack of the Clones, it's so fun for me to watch because it's so full of random memes and moments. But when Obi-Wan gets in there and I'll be right with you. He's like, okay, fine. And it's like, oh, take a seat, hun, take a seat. And Obi-Wan sits down for like half a second and then gets up immediately. Like that scene to me is so fucking funny. I don't know why. Giving him the big hug and pulling up his pants and shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But the way Ewan
McGregor's looking at a fucking bowl on a stick, you know?
Yeah. But Ewan's just like, he's just like, next. Like, it's so quick that he sits down.
Oh, yeah. Things like that have happened. I can relate.
Are we live?
I don't know.
I just look, Gary's gone, you know, I'm just like, are we fucking live, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, sure.
Okay, is Gary alive?
He heard Star Wars, he was like, I'm off. Yeah. He's not finished.
He needed a refuel.
I'm one of those fucking wankers that fucking absolute moron that when The Force Awakens was coming out was just like, gonna get all these figures in, put them in a box.
Yep.
Put them in a box in the closet. Now, I if I was to put that on fucking eBay, whatever, I might as well just go to the car boot sale with it.
It's like buying a car. You lost 70% of the value the moment it arrived at your door.
He's going around.
This is gonna be the greatest thing. Oh,
the moment I took it off the peg, it lost 70%.
He's going around breaking into people's houses and sneaking it in there.
Yeah, like Santa.
It actually lowers the value of their house.
They open the package. Oh, it's Kylo Ren.
He's going around post boxes, fucking putting them in post boxes. People are coming out their houses, throwing them back out. Fuck off!
I saw somebody in the
you ass.
I saw somebody in the chat say that Spielberg hasn't made a good movie since Jurassic Park. Bro, if you don't appreciate the phenomenal movie that is Minority Report, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh,
Minority Report's fucking
Saving
awesome.
Private Ryan.
Saving Private Ryan. That's 98 or something. Yeah, come on.
But he's a different person. Like post Jurassic Park, he's a different person. He was more in tune with the public. He was more of a normal person back in the 80s. The Hollywood establishment hated his guts. That's why he didn't win Best Picture when he should have with E.T. and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Because they dissed him, and instead of like being the full rebel he used to be, he joined the system, became part of the system, became part of the evil that fucking hated him. And same with George. They became part of the establishment, and he drank the Hollywood Kool-Aid and became I want to make Oscar-winning movies when he should have kept making the movies he had, but he could make the excuse of growing up. That's some bullshit because now he wants to come back to genre. And you can't. The Spielberg from before had wonder, understood the meaning of the word wonder, and now it's just paint by numbers. Plus, he's old. Well, creatively, you only have like a certain amount of time anyway, right? There's very few people. How many Michael Jordans are there in this world who just like make all the money but still want to be a stone cold killer on the court? None. There's none.
I think that's because a lot of them don't want to be typecast, so they constantly want to start doing something new, and they don't realize you might just have a zone where you can make good stuff. And all the talk about tropes being bad, no, it's because they became a trope because it was done so often for thousands of years that we just noticed a pattern. But that can still make guy kills people to save damsel of distress as a trope. It's still a great story. And you see people like always forget his name, the guy that makes Landman and stuff. He's essentially he knows his pattern and he can pump out series after series of essentially the same kind of pattern thing, and everyone loves it. It's like the guy that did Beekeeper and Jason Statham. He knows his lane. He makes a movie. The audience know what they like, and they know what they're going to get when they go in, and they like the movies.
Do you guys see that
he dyed his beard in Beekeeper?
Did you see?
I love Beekeeper.
I had to check and see if it wasn't discussing fish instead of discussing film. Apparently, Jason Statham is playing Jason Statham in the movie Jason Statham Stole My Bike.
I'm gonna be honest, that sounds like a great
sign me up. I'm ready to go.
I see a Jason Statham movie, I go to it.
But he's also going to be race swapped, by the way, just so it makes more sense.
As long as he blacks up, I'm okay.
He's just a blackface.
I had to make sure it wasn't the parody account.
That's so good. No, what was that? Oh God, what was the one? Was it Discussing Film that brought up? The one last week. As we put it on Real BBC, right? It was Frank Grillo.
Discussing fish.
It was Discussing Fish, right? Discussing.
Never
fish.
seen John Barthol and Frank Grillo in the same room.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Has anybody seen Have Fun, Good Luck, Don't Die? I think that's the name.
I've not seen it.
I'm going to see it Sunday.
It looks great.
I missed out on my fucking 70 millimeter tickets for Project Hail Mary. Those sold out fast, man.
Swear to God, you're going to go 70 millimeter tits.
No, that was on Starfleet Academy.
That doesn't even make sense. What's a millimeter for one?
7 centimeters.
What's a centimeter?
Woman's boobs. That's what it is.
Okay, so pull back up the Burbs article, X-Ray Girl. I made everybody watch it. We might as well talk about it. But I have a bigger point to make other than this stupid fucking show. They only gave it 3 stars. It should be 1.
What?
So they remade The Burbs, which was starring Tom Hanks. It was a mid-level comedy.
Yeah.
that did okay. I don't even know if it did okay at the box office. I don't remember.
I've never seen it before.
It's not that great. It's not that great. It's not terrible, but they decided to remake it on Peacock.
With racists.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, yes.
I mean, I'm not being
this-
silly. I mean, with racists, yeah.
The first episode starts as it means to go on with the first two lines from the first two people. You know what you're in for.
Yep. Racism.
Yes.
And I hate racism in all its forms unless it's against. Wait, what?
Well, no, the weird thing is, everyone else in the show isn't a race. It's the main character. It's her going around going, I know how you're going to treat me.
Exactly, expecting everyone else to be racist. And even that opening scene, she projects, oh, this entire street is filled with microaggressions or something like that. I was like, yeah.
Wait, because of white picket fences.
Yeah, which existed before you arrived. It was like
a white picket fence, and it's supposed to be, a commentary on suburbia, which might have hit in '89. But now, not so sure. And
yes, gonna say, can you get the fucking century right? Never mind the fucking decade.
I can't imagine mining an entire series out of this movie: the mystery of the house and the lesbian neighbor. And then at the end, she gets because she's sitting in front of her own house in suburbia. So of course the cops, roll up on her and want to arrest her.
Well, no, that was because
the black neighbors all the time. Yeah.
Well, no, that she wasn't because she was sitting outside. She was going across the road to the other house and trespassing. And they said this black woman is trespassing on our house. And then they found her and wanted to see what she was doing. That seemed perfectly reasonable. That if you are trespassing and someone reports you, that they stop you to see what you're doing.
Yeah. Now, of course, but it is reasonable that they'd be like, hey, you match this description. But the way they acted, we heard some black bitch was over there trying to you know what I mean?
Well, they tried to make it as realistic as possible.
Sure.
Totally.
Sure. And it wasn't funny. And it really tries hard to be. And I got to admit, I was even watching this.
I didn't know it was a comedy until you just said, I didn't even know it was trying to be funny.
Oh, yeah.
It's not, there's nothing to laugh at here apart from the racist bitch. I mean, no, this isn't a comedy. This is race. It's when liberals are racist, they call it comedy. When conservatives are racist, they shoot them in the neck. Apparently, to their eyes. So there's a slight different scale, I would say, on that part. But yeah, there's nothing funny about this. It's shite. I'm not watching anything. I'm not watching anymore.
No.
I'm telling you that. Right?
One episode was more than enough.
Even Gary's like, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I'm just making that perfectly clear right now.
On this one, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry I made you watch it.
It's rare that happens, but
I was going through the episode going, I feel pretty bad right now. So because it wasn't funny, it wasn't good. And I think in their minds, the people who made this, I think in their minds, they're thinking that they are being critical of some of the tropes that have been happening in television. They can't pull it off and they can't see the other side. It's mind-boggling that they made this, that somebody made this, that put money into it. And we have Hollywood facing they're an apocalypse right now. AI is coming, whether they like it or not. We might get a strike. Looks like Christopher Nolan is locked hands with the Film Actors Guild. And they're going into negotiations, and they want a 5-year deal, and they want to fight AI. And I know the strike just seems like yesterday, but it was actually 3 years ago coming this year. And there very well could be another one when production is down over 60%. Audiences are down 50% as far as ticket sales are concerned. Streaming has leveled out for the most part. That's why Netflix has said, well, we're going to stop, reporting subscribers and we're just going to start reporting profits. Disney Plus had to be absolved in Hulu, and then they had to rename it Disney Plus. And then Bob Iger can say he can leave with a victory. Bob Iger's leaving. Kathleen Kennedy's gone. Like all these changes are happening because they know shit is about to hit the fan. And this is how they fight it. This is how you fight AI. with the Burbs, with human AI. You know, it's a good argument for AI. Sorry, but it is.
A lot of TV is, to be honest with you. That's just the problem.
Well, they're putting stuff out like this, and then what's the #1 film going to be this weekend? Remake of Wuthering Heights.
Oh,
Well,
that's all they have.
I don't give a shit about Star Wars, right? Disney's killed my interest in Star Wars. It's now apathy.
Yes.
I'm watching this Star Wars Untold fucking AI stuff on YouTube, and I'm getting much more out of it than anything that Disney have put out of it. So it's
That's
just
how
like,
sad it is.
that is how exactly though. Exactly. And it just shows how bad it is.
Well, it's because their argument against AI is that it strips the humanity from something, but you don't get that anyway. You get none of the values out of it. You don't get any heroic kind of stuff out of it.
No.
When you're watching The Burbs, it's basically just her explaining that she's paranoid. There's things like, "Oh, your baby takes after its mother." Well, that's just a factually correct statement that happens, and yet she's still annoyed by it somehow. And it's like, so yeah, if you don't understand humanity, AI doesn't either. So at least we can get something that is trying to imitate something that I liked, rather than deliberately giving me something I don't.
Right.
The only argument that you can make to validate not switching over to AI and people going to AI is to make great art that reminds people why they enjoy your stuff in the first place. That's not happening, and it's not going to happen, because here's the thing: even though they weren't using AI, they use a whole lot of algorithms and a whole lot of marketing and a whole lot of numbers to make decisions.
Exactly.
You know, the fact is, the fact that we're not even talking about the fact that in She-Hulk, the joke at the end of that show was that the whole thing was made by an AI, that all of Disney was being run by an AI, just shitting out algorithmic stuff, and they flat out told on themselves that that's what they were doing. You know, we've all talked about it. They have computers that they just plug in things, and it shits out an idea and goes, "This is who you should put in these movies. You need a Chris Pratt type here and there." They're not making anything because they actually have any artistic integrity. They're making it because they know that it was going to make money, and when it stopped making money because people felt like it was soulless and didn't have any actual humanity behind it, they freaked the fuck out, because guess what? There was a computer system and an AI that could do it better than they could, and faster too. Because it still takes them 8 years to get one fucking movie out, you know, and then that's why they're also freaking out about all these YouTubers making movies, because guess what? They can do it in a year or two faster than they can, and they're making way more profit than they are.
And they don't.
The other
made
issue,
more money than Superman.
Yeah, because Markiplier's not touched their fucking corrupt goddamn system of unions. I mean, that's a massive problem.
100%. Hollywood has a lot of fucking bad.
He did. It was a union movie, though. Like, he did fulfill all the rules with that. But what part of the issue as well is that you know that none of those actors or directors mean it. When they're talking about, it strips the humanity out of it, that's just an argument to try that they can use in the room. If tomorrow all the studios agreed, we'll use AI, but we'll give you all the residuals, we'll give you all the same amount of money you get now, what we'll do with AI, they would fold instantaneously.
The strike, the one of the negotiators for the Writers Guild of America told me that this isn't about stopping AI; it's about controlling it.
Yes. They need to monetize it because their industry is falling apart.
How do we get paid?
And if they strike and they delay things, all they're doing is making these executives go, how can we replace them faster?
AI's not union.
There's only a handful of people. There's only a handful of people in the industry who probably would actually take a principled stand on it. We obviously saw the Brad Pitt Tom Cruise fight. Tom Cruise would probably be one of those people that would reject the notion of having himself recreated in that way, just 100%. Because he fucking gets hard by jumping off buildings and shit or whatever is going on in his life. But for the most part, you're right. If their livelihoods would be guaranteed, the vast majority of people would have no problem with it. And I think you could probably say that for almost all of society. Like if you didn't have to do anything and you could still get money and AI was doing your job, you probably wouldn't care.
I don't want to put up Shad's AI art. No.
Don't get on your, if that's the case, fine, say you're in it for the money and you just want to get paid. Don't get on your high horse about the institution of it and the art and the humanity of I'm an artist making movies if you just want the money. Like, one of their ideas is any movie that is made with AI has to pay a tax on the revenue to the union that gets distributed. They're not even involved in that scenario, but that's one of their solutions. And you know, I would respect you more if you were just honest that you wanted money and it's a business and you're making a product rather than trying to pretend you're a high and mighty artist.
Well, the reality is,
I was just going to say, all the videos people are seeing is from a new model that recently released called Seed Dance, and it is actually doing things that I didn't think would be possible for another 5 years. Like its contextual understanding is actually crazy. People have put in comic book pages, a manga page, and asked this thing to make it into a manga, and it does it, and its results are actually crazy. I could share one if Gary, but like it's up to Gary if he wants to share.
No, it's art, Gary. You don't understand.
This is someone who did hand-drawn art, made a comic book, fed it into this new model, and it produced a manga that looks completely legitimate. Sorry, it produced an anime that looks completely legitimate from them putting in comic book pages. That's how, like, I didn't think we'd get there for 5 years. This is moving.
No, it's fucking accelerating.
That's going to make comic book.
Just look what's going on with Open Claw right now. That shit's fucking insane.
In the future, this will save Starfleet Academy spaceships.
No, this is the manga, right? This is the manga. They fed it into this new model, and it made this.
Oh, don't speak Japanese to me.
You uncultured uncouth man.
It did always struggle with text, though, even previously.
It really did. This is as good as some low-level anime. And it made it in a couple. Like this is scary. This is like beyond.
Did it do the audio?
It did the audio.
Yeah,
because that is actually correct Japanese. That is accurate.
Yeah. And that was from just a comic book page. Like we're already at a point where people could make anime from their own. I could put in Shadow the Conqueror, graphic novel, and make a freaking cartoon with this stuff. This is like, I can't believe it. I actually can't believe that it is capable of that.
The problem that you have is at the start of anything, you get a massive acceleration because you're getting all the easy wins. You're starting from nothing. So everything's like massive improvement. But then as you approach like cinema quality or quality that you would accept as a product, it's the details that matter. And getting everything right on all the little bits is actually far more difficult.
Take a while.
So yeah, the question is, can it keep up the rate of acceleration, or will it cap out before it actually becomes useful?
Will it be profitable? Are people willing to pay for this?
Elon's on about putting it in space now. The cost of all the data centers and everything on this is insane.
I thought it would cap out before. I thought it would take longer to reach where we're at with this. And like I said, I didn't think it would be capable of doing this for another 5 years. So I just don't know. Now I don't know. I don't know.
Nobody knows
where we'll be.
Here's the thing. I don't want this shit. I don't care. I don't care if it looks really cool. I don't want this shit because it truly is soulless.
Yes.
Now, with that being said, it feels like 95% of the content that gets made in general now today is soulless, which is why so many people would be perfectly fine watching whatever, even if it is just AI soulless stuff. I think I'm probably in the minority in the grand scheme of things when it comes to that. Like all these people that are loving these like Star Wars fan fiction videos that people are making. I think it's impressive, cool that you made that, but I don't give a fuck. To me, it has no heart. It has no soul. And so I don't care and I don't want to consume it. But I get why people wouldn't care at this point because the stuff they're getting now is already soulless.
Well, let me answer something with that, right? Because there are a lot of small, comic book creators, manga creators, and everything that put their heart and soul to something. And now they would never have the means to see their, thing made into a cartoon or an anime or something like that. And then when they see their work that they put their heart and soul into come alive like that, to them it has soul because that's their work. That's their vision.
Sure.
Coming
but
to life.
Does it to the average person?
This is my thing, okay? And I've said this a million times, and I think it's part of the problem in Hollywood right now. For every 1,000 people who think they're worth a shit or who think that their story is worth telling or that people should hear this, about one of those people out of every 1,000 actually have what it takes. The problem is 1,000 people think they do. It's part of the reason that social media is so fucking disruptive and it's just degenerated in this disgusting thing that we have to deal with every day because so many people out there think that their opinions are worth listening to, that their voice has value, and it fucking doesn't. Most people's voices don't fucking matter. Most people's voices and stories and thoughts don't have any fucking value because most people suck and are retarded. So the idea that all these retarded people like all of a sudden have the capability to put out their story that they think is so important, that's what we're seeing in Hollywood right now, is all these people with no fucking talent, no fucking good story to tell, who think their voices fucking matter when they don't. Are we going to get a handful of awesome, cool things that come from that? Sure. But it's also going to be 100 times more the dog shit than we already have. Now, that's based on my idea of humanity in general and how everyone fucking sucks and is lame and is gay. But that's overall why I don't fucking
So
care
there's no
very much
difference.
about
No.
that.
Well, no, it's not. I do
got
agree
there,
that I
Az?
think we'll just get overwhelmed with a sea of
It's gonna
slop.
be
But
yeah,
I don't think that's the most dangerous situation. The most dangerous situation is if it can read your entire social media thing, everything you've ever done in your life, all the data you've accumulated on the internet, and then it makes something for you. Because it is niche entertainment that really gets people. Like the RTS audience may be really small, but RTSs are massive in that audience. 4X games have a really dedicated audience. And if this knows exactly what you want in games, it will have soul, because it's your soul. It's what you wanted and what you've always asked for. And that means everyone's siloed off in their own entertainment. We don't share anything anymore. No one recommends anything because it's too specific to you.
Common culture.
And then it is just a load of people sitting in their own room watching their own VR headsets separated from everybody.
But,
I think that's the most dangerous.
I have an argument for AI because I think I know what Az is about to share here. X-Ray Girl.
This is an argument for AI, yes. In the private chat, the link's in the private chat.
Yeah. Here we go.
This is niche entertainment.
Waiting for them to bring this up, bro.
Wow. This is the Batwoman we deserve.
Fucking this one's getting it in AMA. You getting it?
Oh, no.
What was going to happen?
Wait a minute. Yeah.
I'm gonna
If anyone thinks that,
if
anyone thinks that the moment where he beat up someone with his cape is too far, in the Shequalizer series, she beats people up with a scarf.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
they've already done that.
Hey, some people will say that was AI, but it wasn't. That was really
No.
AI.
Yeah, like look at this scene.
He was inspired by Markiplier to go out.
So much heart.
New series coming soon.
I do like that it's all black people. That is
Yeah.
I
It's like that black guy will be coming soon.
He said, who do you want to beat up? I said, make sure it's the black people. Okay.
It's Black History Month.
Took a page out of Liam Neeson's book. I just
Yeah,
wanted
it's
to go
Black,
out and find a black guy.
It's Black
Yeah.
History Month. Let's celebrate by. Oh no, I think I got it wrong. Actually, shit. Okay, never mind. I think I was meant to be black.
There's always next time the
Whoops.
sequel.
This too, though,
Blackface
this might actually be
woman.
like the greatest danger from AI. Not just the amusing entertainment, but quality. Because if everybody, and I do believe that Disbarrow is 100% correct, you will have aimed, specialized, personalized entertainment because it's the easiest way to make money. Of course, make a product everybody wants to watch. Duh. But imagine the amount of this entertainment we would need. I mean, we're already struggling with data centers now. We're not producing enough energy. We can't store it all. YouTube had to ban this within weeks because they're like, our servers are fucking melting. Like, that is going to be a real problem. When the internet is nothing but this, the system collapses.
I'm okay with the internet power
And it's got to be
feature.
profitable. When you start charging for this, like subscription fees and stuff, what's going to happen then? Because it's not making any money right now. And as people predicted, it'll probably have this big boom, then a crash, then it'll level out. It's not going away. Like, this is the future. And the people who are going to be out of work are animators, the people working in CGI in Hollywood. They're
high guard developers.
They're done. They're done.
Yeah, and this can't crash like immediately either. That's the thing to remember right
eventually
now, because
editors.
this isn't entertainment. This is about strategic interest. This is America and China competing. As if China manages to mass produce AI entertainment like this, imagine if a war happens. Imagine the propaganda they could make, indistinguishable from reality.
Yep. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's already here anyway. We're getting so
That's
much
just the BBC.
bullshit. Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, speaking of which, go on, comics.
I was gonna say one of the other side effects too is that they can use it to deny actual things, saying, "Oh, that news clip you saw, it's just AI," even though it's actually real.
Well, now you have to prove it.
That's
and now
the
you have
whole
to prove
point
it.
of AI comics.
Yeah.
It's to make the real stuff look like AI, Therefore, the AI stuff can exist and get rid of the new stuff. That's
So-
the whole point.
There was a guy that said the perfect murder would be to kill someone in front of CCTV, then invent a AI version of it and swap the tapes. So they find the video, then they play it, and you go, no, that's AI, and it is. And then they're like, but there's a corpse there. It's like, no, obviously the real killer made me do it.
You know, how did classic Star Trek have humanity survive? Because they had all that technology.
They
could
didn't
have all
bomb
the
each other every 2 weeks.
Well, there was
It's just-
World War too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they had to.
It was
oh,
post World
maybe.
War. All right, Garrett posted this earlier. I guess you can turn off the India setting on X.
Yeah.
So X is coming out with something that allows you to filter out certain countries, like specific countries.
United Kingdom.
India,
funny.
same thing.
No, it's more Pakistan.
Yeah,
bro.
can we be a bit more specific? If I can get rid of all of London Post, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, just London. Bye.
Is this the one you chose? Is this the one you fucking chose to share?
Jesus fucking Christ.
What a surprise, Quartering. What a surprise. Holy.
There you go. Rewrite.
Wow. Look how many likes he's gotten it. Look how many likes
It was
he's
supposed to
gotten
be a joke about how fucking, Indians, they're the stupid Asians. That's what it was supposed to be.
Well, it was also a commentary on the Indians were stealing posts, right?
Okay.
Yeah, reusing people's posts without credit, and yeah, I get it. It's layered.
Wait, are we talking about the Quartering or Indians here? I'm
Yes.
really
Yes. Go look at the number of likes.
Okay.
Look at the
Yes,
number of
yes.
likes.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I like the 1.1k bookmarks that are just reminding themselves to do it when it happens.
We know who one of them is.
Oh, dude, no, I'm not gonna.
I'm just trying to figure out how he's going to get a fucking advert out of that. That's all I'm doing.
Well, yeah. So
We're
I
gonna
guess
come up with like block lists of nations.
I guess that's real.
Just get passed around.
I guess that's real. So I don't know where the settings are.
Israel?
Israel. Oh, shit.
We got him.
What? Let's go to the.
What
What did you just do? What are you talking about? What to Odin?
Yeah, but he's hoping that they only clip the late version.
That was the Illuminati.
I was doing
all-knocking
Dune.
tongue.
All right, let's go to the people. Ryan's black girlfriend for 50.
That is not the thing to say.
Let's go to the people. Let's see how racist they are.
Turns out pretty racist. I've come to the realization that Ryan ain't going to pay me my child support. Therefore, I told my lawyer to go after Shad and Disbrew, sitting in the corner acting all funny and stuff. Show enough.
I
Show
ain't
enough.
paying shit. That baby's not mine. And on the off chance that it was, that's why I fucking threw you down the stairs. You had it anyway. Little did I know. Little did I know brain damage wouldn't sufficiently.
It's technically Valentine's Day.
Happy
here,
Valentine's Day, everybody.
Oh my god.
Show the woman how much you love her by making sure she doesn't hit the last step on the way.
Sure, you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
I still got 5 hours left till Valentine's Day. So.
M2M Tomb for 50. Yes, Disbrew? Is there anything you want to
It
share
makes
with
it
the
sound like the only thing between him and throwing women down the stairs is whether it's Valentine's Day or not.
5 hours.
Yes.
I would behave on Valentine's Day.
Women,
behave.
you've got 5 hours to stay away from Ryan King.
It's like the purge.
It's like the purge.
I wouldn't do that. There's 5 hours yet.
It's the reverse purge. He's like, you get 1 day a year.
I would also include your birthday or Christmas or whatever.
okay.
You know.
What about Arbor
Maybe
Day?
some religious holidays. I don't know.
Arbor Day? Fuck Arbor. I'd burn down trees on Arbor Day. Fuck that shit.
What about Black History Month?
All month long.
Let's continue with the super chat. Oh boy, Archcast is here. As a reminder to my fellow folks, Arch is friends with Lumi Angler. Did I get that right? I don't know what that is.
Lumi Angler, correct.
A basket case who likes yucky Shutu boy art and bloody I can't even read this. Don't trust the loony fish woman, viewers. My saying is keep away from the crazy Michaelia. I don't know what I just read.
No.
I
thought it was going to be something about feet.
Yeah.
Well, no, she's also known as the footfish. So
yeah,
I was expecting something about feet too.
Yeah.
Feet too. Oh no.
But thank you.
They tend to come in pairs.
Eric Guidewell has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for $50. Thank you, Eric. Only 4 more Starfleet Academy watch parties to go. Starting to feel it now, guys.
You are.
At the start of every...
We could always stop and quit. I would like to.
No.
At the start of every ad review, he looks more and more depressed and haggard. Like, it's the only thing that keeps me going through the week is seeing his pain.
watching his sanity drain. Like, as you got to start your last video, like, just not being able to speak English, just like speaking in tongues.
Like, his intros get longer, and it's just him complaining about watching it.
Disparate art, literally. We've got a struggle session going as we're fucking doing our videos. It's just like
I'm like halfway through and I see him DM me. I'm like, no, I know it, but it gets worse. Because I record.
We're back to fucking sonar in space again.
It's because I record first, then edit, where I think you do it as you're going along.
Simultaneously, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm further on, and you're like, this is really bad, but you've seen nothing yet.
Yeah. Yeah, where I am, I'm there on my edit. Where you've watched it, then you go back, and then you're doing your edit. So yeah, you get to see it all first before you have to see it again. Fuck.
Yeah, I watch it 3 times in total. One normally, then
Oh,
one to record, then one to edit.
Never.
Oh my god, that's like the fucking making the One Ring, for fuck's sake.
That's what I was thinking about, yeah.
Why do you think I snapped a long time ago? I even know it was episode 5 of Wheel of Time is when I snapped. The moment this guy went, look, I can either join the warders or off myself. He chose that one. I'm like, I hope this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. And now I just like trash. I can't help it.
But just bro, let's go. He can either be gay or kill himself.
I wasn't going to spell it out in that much detail, but yes.
This is how Disparu makes Horcruxes. He just watches these terrible shows.
Yes.
Another one out there. Yeah.
Quelndar.
I'm loving PC World, by the way, getting community noted for saying High Guard didn't flop.
Oh, yeah.
What? High Guard flop.
They got community noted with the developers of High Guard laid off most of their team, around 90% estimated, just 16 days after release. This makes it a flop.
Quelndar for $200 on the Streamlabs side. Hell, brother. Thank you, Quelndar. Just got 4K discs of heavy metal, and they live in today. Looking forward to watching After FNT tonight. Hail the Fellowship. Oh, those fucking, I could watch both those movies tonight. The heavy metal one's great. Heavy metal is a fucking great movie. So is they, of course. Excalibur comes out in 4K in 10 days.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I've been waiting for that. Great.
That is a rough
movie.
film. That's a rough film, you know.
Dude, that was the best fantasy film ever made up until Lord of the Rings came out. That was it. That was the go-to. Andrew CR 2 parts for $69.69. What happened to Jack Murphy?
He became like this really strong Christian guy and tried to do that grift.
Oh no!
And then
he came back as like a Christian preacher kind of guy.
Oh, okay, that works out really well when you're fucking sucking college boys off.
Well, I mean, it does if you're a woman, but not for that.
No, there's a lot of sarcasm in that.
Well, I mean, there's enough. There's enough of the modeling community who have done that and worked.
Are you guys going to support small businesses this Valentine's Day? There's this small coffee brand called Coffee Brand Coffee that released a forced cream pie flavor for the occasion. I tried it, but it tasted like fish. Anyway, a new movie called Heated Rivalry might be displacing Interstellar as the best movie in Jeremy Prime's collection. It's about two hockey players that fuck each other in the ass.
Yeah, no, and Variety, if you have followed Variety, they love to put that in your feed. They will show you the most horrific like thumbnails you have ever seen in your life.
No, the worst thumbnail I've seen in my life is where somebody AI'd Wings of Redemption kissing DSP on their thumbnail today. And I am scarred, sir, scarred.
Oh, man.
So it's about two hockey players who fuck each other in the ass, and for some reason, that's less gay.
There's a lot of eyes.
And for some reason, that's less gay than liking Twilight. Hail!
No.
Our life.
Are we back?
All right. All right. Where was I? J6667 for $49.99. Hello. I want to say a man named Lino Alopia, who is at least largely responsible for maintaining Carolinian, aka what the fuck?
Refalua?
Culture on Northern Mariana Islands passed away. I barely seen mention of which is one of my reasons why I mentioned him. Well, it might be because his name's hard to pronounce. I don't know.
Can you say the name?
Carolinian, aka Raffle Wash Culture on Northern Mariana Islands passed away.
We don't have a name? Carolinian?
Carolinian.
That sounds like the culture.
No, it's
the Carolinian historical romance adventure by Raphael Sabatini. That one.
Oh, Raphael. Okay.
But this name
What
was
did you just
Lino
call me?
Alopai. Rest in peace. I have no idea
Rest
what
in
I just
peace.
read.
Sorry to hear about that.
Yeah.
I think they're talking about an author.
I'm just offended by all of it.
R.I.P. James Vanderbeek.
Oh yeah.
R.I.P.
Gosh.
Yeah.
We're like sure about the other guy. We're like, oh yeah, James though. Yeah.
Because we know who he is.
Yeah, we know who he is.
I'm sorry, I don't know who that other person is.
For our lives to be
I'm specifically blaming Gary for butchering it. Like,
sure. I mean,
whatever. Somebody just wrote an obituary basically to someone and we can't even figure it out. So, yeah. I'm blaming Gary. But rest in peace to whoever it was that
Lino Alapai. That's the name.
Okay. There it is.
Corvo the Crow 99 for $49.99. Hail. There's a scene in Dunkin' Egg trailer where Baylor launches someone from their saddle. I'm sure it's Makar. But the thought that it could be Darren getting blasted after saying he'll just fall and take a knee has been cracking me up all week. It might be.
We'll have to see. I have an idea of who Baylor is going to go after first because of the books, but I don't know.
It's going to be an interesting fight considering who can fight who.
Yep.
And who can't fight who.
Oh. Well.
Tasty Newton for 50 Canadian pesos. Hail all, just learned that Gary loves Bon Jovi. Fucking lies. Perhaps we should all make him happy by super chatting lyrics so he can sing them out loud.
Yeah.
No, because that's never been done before.
Yeah. I refuse to sing them. But thank you. Aruka Fire for a $50 rant. It's Happy Friday, Gary. Will you wow us with a live stream of Reloaded showing your gaming skills and mastery of stealing? I heard the game just absolutely sucks.
It was like 60,
I've heard it's very boring. Yeah.
67 people playing simultaneously on Steam, something like that.
Like, it's not even like so bad it's fun to play or take the piss out of. Like, there are racist bits, like there's a weird accents being used and stuff that that's just being put on, but the gameplay itself just looks dull.
Savvy played an entire level with her feet
boring.
yesterday.
Of course she did.
I'm gonna be playing it after this stream, but I bought a costume, so.
Oh.
That's why he just wanted the excuse.
Headwear.
It did include headwear. It's very racist.
I mean, it better do, because that's the only thing you've got on camera.
Yeah, it's got well, yeah, it's a pretty racist costume. I'm pretty proud of myself. So
I hope it's just like an English gentleman's outfit, like a suit. You got a top hat
with a monocle.
Very racist. I'm drinking tea.
It's just the KFC Colonel. Yeah,
that would be amazing, especially with the songs you play.
Yeah, I know it's a lot worse than that. But, yeah.
Mikey Gusler for 50. What's up, Mikey? Mikey could be talking so much more shit about James Gunn, and he doesn't. He refrains. He's taking the high road. He really shouldn't. I think he should just...
He knows he's already won, that's why.
I feel like Mikey talked more shit before the Superman movie than after, because he's like, fuck, I got nothing more to prove. Like,
it's like my work here is done.
Yeah.
With all this talk about knights and chivalry, Warehouse Studios Shadow dropped a next-gen update for KCD1. What's that?
Kingdom Come Deliverance. One.
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
A good excuse to play one of the best RPG games out there. Also, Gary, you better invite Jay Longboat on FNT for the final episode of SA. Do it. She's making good videos on him. She's doing some great work. You want to start a YouTube channel? Make videos about Starfleet Academy. It is the lowest hanging fruit. The Morgue for 50. Archmangus lives. Hail the panel. Archmangus from Fargate, the arch villain. Waiting for the asteroid for $50. Hey guys, I just wanted to get into comic books. I like Marvel more, so which comics should I read and where can I buy them? I also want to start learning how to write. What resources should I look at for that? Love from Cali and hail the fellowship. Find your local comic book store. Avoid the ones that have trans flags in the window. Just walk away.
Yeah.
They said they're from California, Gary.
Okay.
So that's pretty much all of them.
Yeah. And one of the best ones is gone now. Southern California Comics is done, which sucks. But there's a couple of really good shops in LA, if that's where you are. And there's a couple of good ones in the Bay Area. Marvel books. Where do you start with Marvel books? You know what? If it's your first purchase and you've never bought a Marvel book before, get Marvels by Alex Ross and Kurt Busiek. That's a good starter right there. As far as writing resources, the guy I'd ask is gone right now. Shad.
There's Brandon Sanderson has a whole YouTube series about his writing style, his magic systems, how he wrote it all, what you should do. If you search his channel, you get loads of advice. He does like university lectures and then puts them on YouTube.
Yep.
And he made some bank from Apple.
Oh yeah, big deal with
Oh, he's made bank his entire, like he has the biggest Kickstarters and everything.
Yep.
You can just ask ChatGPT or whatever, right, Chad? Just ask ChatGPT how to use it.
Right, yeah.
What?
Not really, actually.
One of Brandon's big idea was he said the studios couldn't make money out to send it to
Yeah.
Because StreamYards, you have to just get it to StreamYards and then
Hey,
from
we're
there,
live?
Yeah, they distribute it. Yeah.
Yep. But
Sounds
I
good
just
now.
checked my speed on fast.com and it's fine. So it's got to be OBS. It's got to be OBS.
Yeah, let's get through super chats so
Let's
we
get
can
through-
end the misery of the people that are attempting to watch.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks.
Sorry,
We're,
chat.
We'll get it fixed. Believe me. Mikey Gusler, 5 parts for 100. Going to say something controversial but true. You never say anything controversial, Mikey Gusler.
Mikey.
Yeah,
A huge
I can relate.
reason.
Just like me.
A huge reason as to why Star Wars is where it is today is because of OG fanatics saying that George Lucas ruined Star Wars. They made countless lies about Lucas. These OG fans lied about how it was George's wife who saved the film in editing. Special editions cleaned up a lot of dated effects, especially Return of the Jedi. They lied about how he wanted to control the prequels. George wanted Ron Howard, Irving Kershner, and Steven Spielberg to direct episode 1, but they were all scared because it was going to be the first new Star Wars film in over 20 years. He had to direct it himself. OG fans lied about how Empire is so good. Oh, Mikey, like, I'm kind of with you. Empire is so good because George had no involvement in, which is a lie. He was involved. He was very involved in Empire Strikes Back. Very involved. He had a ton of input, and he directed the reshoots in which he fixed all the Han and Leia romance scenes. Fanatics need to take responsibility for them being part of the problem as to why Star Wars is in the shape it is today. RLM videos are terrible with bad arguments, just like all the fanatics who attack the prequels. Well, the thing about Marsha Lucas going out there and fixing it in the edit, she was a very good editor and she did her job. But as many people have pointed out, George Lucas had the final say on it. George Lucas supervised all that shit. So that is it's a true story that's been pumped up into something that's a bit of an urban legend that she saved it herself. An undeniable fact that Mikey does not dissuade is Gary Kurtz was there for the first 2 films to ground George, and he was very good at doing it. That Quaker mofo. But no, it's not like George walked away and Marsha fixed the movie. That is just not fucking true in any way, shape, or form.
There's very few movies that a director would just let an editor do whatever without final say.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible.
And Marsha Lucas cheated on George Lucas. Let's not forget that part of the story. Let's not forget that. George is a genius. George had to go through a divorce and make all these films, but he made some great films. He is an innovator.
Yeah.
He also got rid of a lot of people who kept him grounded. That was his biggest problem. And yeah, he wanted other people to direct the prequels and they wouldn't do it. They couldn't do it. Right.
I can't really pretend to have any knowledge of how OG Star Wars fans were reacting when the prequels came out, other than in retrospect, right? I do think there's a lot of people that try to blame this or blame that or whatever. What I don't think is that, well, I'll disagree with Mikey, is that the reason Star Wars is the way it is today is because of reactions to the prequels. I don't think that has anything to do with why George sold to Disney. I actually think that is I think that's something that is being pushed by the people that don't agree with us, that love Disney, Star Wars, stuff like that. And it's like, well, it's the fan criticism, like you guys are doing this new Disney stuff, that's the reason he sold. I don't think that was it. I think he sold because he was done making them, as opposed to he didn't want criticism for making them. He was ready to move on with his life and do other things. That's what I believe.
He wanted to do his own thing.
In terms of people trying to tear him down constantly over that stuff, you are right. They do try to take away credit from him whenever they can. I'll say biggest mistake George Lucas ever made was Clone Wars, the TV series.
Yeah.
TCW. To me, that's the most damaging thing that George Lucas has ever done in history.
The thing about like the OG fans, and it wasn't just OG fans, it was normal adults going to the prequels. They were heavily criticized by adults. And what George did is he made a movie for kids that was a kid movie that did capture a new generation. That's undeniable. And George had also waited long. By 2012, the prequels were already starting to get a little more respect. Not a ton, but they were getting more respect. And honestly, the Disney trilogy made people go back, and it definitely, the things that benefited the most from the Disney trilogy were the fucking prequels, for sure, 100%. But you can't deny that he captured another generation of fans. Like and it worked. So he was ahead of it there. I still don't think they're great movies, but they're certainly better than the fucking Disney trilogy, and people like them.
I love them.
And and I have no ground to stand on because I like the Hobbit trilogy, which is shit. but I love it. I love it.
That scene in the river. I'm like, what is happening?
There is some gobbledygook in the Hobbit trilogy, but it also has Ian McKellen fucking just killing it as Gandalf.
Oh,
Like,
and the fight scenes are still as awesome as everything else.
Yeah, and Riddles in the Dark is fucking 10 out of 10 scene. Absolutely 10. But yeah, Mikey, I get it, but I'm not going to blame the fans because the fans are going to do what the fans are going to do. And George, as a creator, he's done enough to where he probably doesn't give a fuck. He probably doesn't genuinely give a fuck. He's a billionaire. And selling to Disney made him a lot more money. Like a ton. So I'm not going to blame the fans. But there are a lot of urban legends out there that go along with it. George was involved in the process for all three of those movies. I mean, I can argue just as much about Return of the Jedi than the prequels, which is half a 10 out of 10 movie and half a 5 out of 10 movie, where Harrison Ford fucking mailed it in and the effects were shit. I will agree with Mikey that some of the effects were genuinely improved in Return of the Jedi. Because they were shit. Wait till, like, if they do a re-release of the original cuts, wait till you see any of the Tatooine scenes. If some people probably haven't even seen them. They were terrible then. We're like, ooh, so.
Well, all the versions that they've been able to do those special releases for, like the Project 4K, which are scans of the original films.
Yeah.
I like it. I love it. I love the originals.
I like the originals. Editing flows much better. The criticism I have, especially about Empire, when Luke is hanging upside down in the cave and the Wampa is coming and he's, that scene where he, gets the lightsaber out. They added scenes to it, which ruined the flow. And they changed the soundtrack. And dude, I knew every note in my fucking head from that. I watched it so much. I listened to the soundtrack. It was a great, impactful scene, and it fucking ruined it. Absolutely ruined it.
That's why I'm happy my kids have only seen the original version.
Ah, good dad. Good dad. There you go. But I'm like, this is probably sacrilege. I hated the fucking song at the end of Return of the Jedi. I'm glad they replaced it with some Celtic music.
The Yub Nub song?
Yub
Yeah.
Nub.
Yub.
Don't say that. You don't like Yub Nub?
No.
Hallelujah.
No, I walked out of the theater going, what the fuck was that?
As a kid, I was fine with it. As an adult, it's like,
I was 13. Oh, yeah.
But it's something for the kids.
You were an old 13, Gary, though. You were an orphan. You went through trauma. You got high on drugs all the time. You're like, this shit ain't hard enough for me, bro.
It's funny because it's true. But thank you, Mikey. We love you, man. Blackguard for 50. Woke movies/TV series are the modern day Christian entertainment from years past. Everyone involved making them love the message that's being shoehorned into the story, but once it gets to the public at large, people see how bad it is. Yeah, there was a tweet from a few months back that called it altar
every
calls.
3 fucking months about everybody, like, where conservatives can't make art because blah.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah. I don't necessarily disagree. However, there's a big difference because Christian movies and Christian television series were dedicated to a very specific audience.
Yes.
And that's the same thing that like woke television shows should be. There's a fucking market for it, right? The fucking weirdos and freaks and degenerates. Like, there's no reason you can't make something like that. The problem is when that message and the gearing towards that audience gets attached to every fucking big time IP of anything that comes out.
Yes.
Right? That's when it becomes a fucking problem.
And it's it's what you're defining as Christian media, because like Narnia is Christian
Narnia, yes.
Yeah, but there's very little like Christian media that is broken in the mainstream. But the thing is, when you market it towards Christians, they make money. It's not like they weren't making money. They made a ton of money. And the thing people don't know is a lot of times they attached entire sermons and there were tapes and all kinds of stuff. So they weren't just selling one movie. They were selling an entire package and people were buying it. It was just specifically marketed to Christians. And then when mainstream
if you're making these things on a small budget for a
Yes.
smaller market, and you
Yes.
like appropriately determine what that market will be, of course it works. Yeah.
It's also Christian values aren't acidic to society, like an acidic to things like gender roles, which are the foundation of all stories. And so you can tell a normal story which has Christian messaging in without going, you should read the Bible, you should become a Christian, and you're still teaching them the foundation without actually shoving everything else in their face and
Lord of
preaching
the
to
Rings
them.
is.
Lord of the Rings.
Exactly.